right? You've pivoted into the digital world and hung on by your fingertips, right? But the bottom line is I'm looking at the content. I'm looking at the content, and you're asking me why.
Yes.
People are reacting negatively
There you go.
to what's being said. So I floated the idea without a great deal of commitment to it that silly comments that are antagonistic made by nitwits like him with big audiences.
What silly
is
comment?
that better?
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range, helping business owners to work better and live better. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
I'm Ben Fletcher. Good afternoon. Robbie Keane is being lined up to become Celtic's next manager. talkSPORT understands that's on the basis that Martin O'Neill decides enough's enough. Our very own Simon Jordan isn't convinced O'Neill would be up for working alongside Keane.
If they bring him in as an assistant to Martin as manager, I think that to some extent undermines him. Not because he should be fearful of the young prodigy coming up, but because it's basically suggesting that his job is to groom him as a successor rather than manage the team.
Mr Jordan says O'Neill has already proven he can do the job by winning the Scottish Premiership. Cult hero at Craven Cottage, Maurice Volts, has told talkSPORT this season could be a dangerous one for Fulham. And as for the fact they don't have Silva's replacement already lined up,
I think one thing that may work well for Fulham is that currently there are some good managers on the market available. But, I mean, you know, the appointments are being made on a daily basis. So to think that they haven't got an immediate replacement is also disappointing.
We're told Kieran McKenna is interested in the Fulham job, but his Ipswich buyout clause is now £8 million. Next, never mind Liverpool trying to convince Bournemouth to let them have Andoni Iraola's backroom staff. The Telegraph's Dom King reckons an easy win for the inbound Reds boss would be to employ the newly retired James Milner.
I think he would be a fabulous addition to the coaching staff in terms of just setting standards around the place, in terms of just being a bit narky, and in terms of just collecting fines and letting people know what it means to play for Liverpool.
And ahead of Saturday's Epsom derby, trainer Aidan O'Brien has declared 4 horses. He's going for a 4th straight win and a record-extending 12th victory. And finally, F1, Charles Leclerc says he couldn't be happier after agreeing a multi-year contract extension with Ferrari. That's ahead of his home race in Monaco on Sunday. Plenty more at talksport.com.
talkSPORT News.
The PM says it was unforgivable for Nigel Farage to call for rage in response to the murder of a teenager in Southampton, and a man who murdered his pregnant girlfriend's been jailed for a minimum of 31 years. More from Emma at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. The tyre transfer window is hotting up, and we've signed a multi-generational talent with Continental Tyres. Visit quickfit.com and book today.
That band of rain moving eastwards this afternoon. Heavy rain with the chance of hail in the north.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Well, from the Coliseum of Confrontation to the Amphitheatre of Agreement, you're listening to Max Rushden and Charlie Baker on talkSPORT. Hawksby and Jacobs for the Spokey Dokey generation. What's coming up between now and 4, Charlie?
Hi, Max. You're nice. I'm nice. Let's have a nice time. Coming up today,
not?
Gary Lineker is here. The boy Lineker is here to look ahead to the World Cup, look back at the season, and have a woke podcast off with Max. And another England great, Peter Reid. What a player. Peter Reid is going to join us too.
We'll talk Iraola to Liverpool with Stephen Corker. Ewan Thomas will come in to talk about why you should all start running immediately. And he's a Saints fan, so we can do some spying and Tonda Eckhart with him too. It's the Wheel of Fortune. No, it's not. It's the Wheel of Football.
There it
Still
is.
Commissioned. And Alex Kitson, comedian and cricket fan, joins us.
Arsenal fans and YouTubers Woody and Kleiny are heading to the World Cup. We'll chat to them, and Steve Harmison will join us ahead of the first test against New Zealand.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Charlie.
Good afternoon, Max. Very nice to see you, actually.
Nice to see you too.
Very nice looking
right?
man, aren't you? Very nice looking man.
Well, do you know what? I mean, it's very kind of you to say. I'm not talking about how nice looking I am.
Oh,
It's not
do
for
you know
me
what?
to-
I am, actually.
It's not for me to say. Well, the previous show might have had two people saying, I mean, you know what? I think I am. Yeah, the best thing in the whole world. I'm the best thing ever. No, I on my podcast, what did you do yesterday? We had Ben Elton on. We had Ben Elton.
Oh, yeah.
The podcast, if you haven't heard it, is we asked people what they did yesterday in absolutely excruciating detail.
It's very good.
But you were a very good guest on it, Charlie.
Thank you, Max.
But Ben Elton begins his day, and it is vaguely sporting, with a 5-minute plank.
Does
he
it?
planks for 5 minutes.
Definitely said plank.
He said plank.
Okay,
he really
good.
did. And 5 minutes. I mean, either way, 5 minutes.
I mean, either way,
The guy.
good luck to him once you get past a certain age.
But he's 20 years. He's about, I think he might be 67.
Yes.
He might be 67. He's planking for 5 minutes. So I thought I'd start the Ben Elton plank challenge on
okay,
Instagram.
yeah. Oh, yeah. On
For one
Instagram.
of making some content, right? Because I don't know about you with Instagram. I know I need to make some content, but
have to do
most of the
something.
time I just cannot be bothered for the wind and the rain. Like, isn't this enough?
So
Isn't doing this
you started
enough?
planking live.
I've started planking live, and so you're in this position, right, where you're sort of, you're on on all
the plank position.
The plank position. You're on your elbows and your toes, right?
Yeah.
But so I'm filming it, and then when I sometimes look down,
This sounds great. Yeah.
and the top of my head, I've noticed it's not related to being good looking, but I am developing a tiny little bald patch.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah.
And I'm not as hirsute as you. I understand that you have a wonderful head of hair.
We've
You and Barry
established that. Let's
Glendenning.
not have this every week.
Don't dye your hair. It's quite extraordinary,
try
the two of you. I'm jealous, and it's too late for me to dye my hair. I don't want to dye my hair, but I do. I'm just wondering, what do I do? Do I get a hair?
Are you
It's
looking
not
for?
a lot.
Are you looking for
I'll show it to the people.
They call it a
Tell you what.
fit. Oh yeah. Well, you move
What do
to
you
your
mean,
move to your left a little bit. Move to your left a little bit. That's it.
Right.
Yeah. That's going, Max. That's going.
That's going. That's
Yeah.
Fry a tuck. So what
so
do I
it's
do
up
about
to you.
this?
Do you need what you're asking for is a fintervention. That's what they call it.
Okay. What does that mean?
It means that you have a friend who tells you if it's time to shave it off.
Do you think I should shave my hair?
Well, I think, Max, that from the front you look absolutely fine.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely fine. You still got it from the front, and most of your work is front facing, isn't it?
I am mainly
and a lot of it is audio only, so you're absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Most of my work, it
But
is
also-
true, is front facing. Whose work is back facing? 8:29.
Back onto Ben Elton and his 5-minute plank. No, I think you're absolutely fine, unless you bring that look back, that whole Friar Tuck look back.
Do you think I could?
You could
do
be
I have
the
to
guy.
dress? Do I have to dress as a friar? I mean, I feel it is. I mean, it's good to have a thing, and like you're never too old to sort of reinvent yourself.
This could be your thing. People would remember you, Max.
What?
If
Do
you
what
turned up
people
dressed
go-
as a friar, everywhere.
I'm not. Say, I've never thought much of Max Rushden as a broadcaster, but now he's dressing as a friar. I really can see.
You'd
I
be
can really
remembered.
see.
Be such a good brand.
Do you think so?
And if other people
What would I
started to dress
change my
like
name to? Friar Max. Friar Max.
Friar Rushden, you'd be, wouldn't you? Friar. I
Friar
don't
Rushden.
think Friar Tuck's first name was Tuck.
Was he? He was Jeff Tuck. Friar
Jeff
Tuck.
Tuck.
Friar Rushden.
I quite like it. I quite like it. You do new.
I mean, lots of
Yeah.
messages along the lines of "Doesn't surprise me." Max is the type of guy to film himself
Yeah,
playing.
lots of that. Let's establish we've done that joke.
We've done that joke. We all know the joke.
I think you're okay.
Well,
I mean, look, it's up to you, Max. Look, hair schmare. No vanity is key, isn't it? Who
no
cares?
vanity is key.
Who cares if you
Who
feel
cares?
good and you feel all right? That's all.
No, I feel like I've
that
got a
matters.
bald spot.
Yeah,
and I don't like it.
And it's years and years of people saying that bald spots are bad.
Right.
That is making you feel bad.
Yeah, but it's easy
Whereas-
for you to say. Chewy over there, Chewbacca.
I've got a great big stomach and a big fat bum.
Okay.
Do I feel great about it? Not particularly, Max. Do I just get on with it? Just get on with it.
Speaking of bums. I went today to have the skin cancer check. You need to go once a year. You live in Australia, big about it, because it's very hot here and the hole in the ozone layer and all that. But you should do it back home. Should do it wherever you are. And so the doctor, she sort of like says, take your top off, and then you do. She's got this little magnifying glass, and she goes around, and then she says, okay, I'll do your back, and then your front, and then lie on your back, and I'll do your legs, and then lie on your front. And then she said, do you mind if I whip down your kecks? Just to check your buttocks. And I was like, once you're there, seems silly to not get it checked.
Why not? You could have worn a thong.
I could have done. I could have done, but I did think at the time, and it was only like a passing moment. I did think these two things. I don't think any two things are less exposed to the sun than these two things. So it would have been it would have been unlucky
to find it there. Would have been,
But, Anyway, she did not spend a long time with the magnifying glass on my buttocks. But
well, there we are. This is not how I thought the show would start, but I've enjoyed it.
Neither.
Do get your moles checked out, everybody. That's
absolutely.
I would say very much so.
I presume the start of this show has been very much in keeping with the end of
very much so.
Simon Jordan and Piers Morgan talking at each other.
Couple of butt cheeks. Okay. One. I mean, there is a punchline to that. I could say of saying one something in the middle. But I'm not allowed to say. I'm not allowed to say.
We all know
the word.
We all know the planking one. We don't need to do that one either.
Here's what happened to me on the way in.
Paul in Perth says, it's not a bald spot match, Max. It's a solar panel for a love machine.
Oh my God, that. I mean, that is a sticker from the 80s that people would have in the back of their car. Along with
to say,
you touch my car, I smash your face. Did you ever see that one, Max?
No, but like it won't surprise anyone to know I've got the testosterone of an unambitious panda, so that doesn't really work. Anyway, what did you want to talk about, Charlie?
I wanted to say on the way here, I thought we could do this on the text, but we've seemed to have started with planking, so Anyway,
yeah, that's okay.
On the way here, I was catching the train, and on the platform were a couple of train spotters. Are you still allowed to call? Still allowed to call them that? I think you are.
What do you mean?
You don't know these days. Who knows what
Can't
you're
say anything anymore, can you?
Talking about the trains debate. And one of them said to the other one, well, no, you're wrong there because he's just moved to Avanti. They were talking about I think, a train driver. One of their favourite train
big money
drivers.
move. Big. Let's go to Alex Crook immediately.
Big money move. talkSPORT understands he's moved to Great Western.
Here we go. Choo choo.
So I thought real life transfers is great fun, isn't it? Can we not do some real life transfers? Maybe you've decided to drink in a different pub, or you've got a new job starting soon.
Sure.
Whatever it is.
Or you've got rumours of someone
if you've
leaving.
Got some gossip,
leaving your club or leaving your office.
Lovely.
Yeah, we will take real life transfers. The window slams shut at 4, so get them in 8:10:89 at Max Rushden at Baker Street. This is Rushden and Baker in partnership with Toolstation. Join the Toolstation Trade Club. Get 10% off all electrical and lighting products when you buy cable and Flex's first stop Toolstation. Stephen Cork will join us in just a second, and we'll do some Iraola to Liverpool.
As I've been waiting to come on, I've just had a message from somebody called Gabriel Agbonlahor. I'm not quite sure who he is, but his message was replying to me writing a diary in the Spectator magazine this week, which is headline, "No one likes Arsenal, we don't care." And he's just said, "I pray for a PSG win." Think about that sentence. That is a talkSPORT presenter on his knees praying to God that Arsenal do not, an English team, do not win the Champions League. That is how pathetic the Arsenal haters have got. It is pathetic.
I want to ask you about that, Pierre, and I'm deadly serious, right? I'm deadly serious, right? I remember West Ham getting that Conference League final. Just about the whole country was behind them. Certainly Palace last week. Everybody was behind them. Why? What is it with Arsenal?
I just cannot understand how any fan base that has me, Keir Starmer, Jeremy Corbyn, the president of Rwanda.
You've answered that.
And I haven't finished yet. And the late Osama bin Laden. Why that fan base would be so detested, I have no idea. No, you know what it is? It's we live in a country I like this about our country, but it's tall poppy syndrome, right? When we were losing and choking, everybody loved Arsenal, right? For the last 22 years, there's nothing other football fans have enjoyed more or loved more or celebrated more than our repeated choking and failures. And now we've actually climbed the summit. Now we've become Premier League champions again. And frankly, now everyone's beginning to wake up to what I've been telling you guys for several years now, that we have the best squad in world football and could well go on a 10-year tear now of dominating.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Gemma's been in touch. Gemma the Mackham. Hi, Gemma. I'm a baker at Tesco. In 2 weeks' time, I'll be leaving to become a baker at Sainsbury's. Everyone at work has told me it's like Newcastle to Sunderland transfer. That's huge.
She's Sol Campbell. She's Sol Campbell. She's unbelievable.
So.
Sol Campbell.
Do let us know more of those real-life transfers. 8:10:89. Liverpool legend John Barnes joined Horsby and Jacobs yesterday discussing Liverpool and Areola. Hopes the club don't become another hire and fire football team when it comes to managers.
Yes and no. No, because first of all, hierarchies, owners, chief executives, the hierarchy in football clubs do not sack managers. Fans sack managers. And fans, once it gets to a situation where the fans lose faith in the manager, you have to take that decision, regardless of whether you want to or not. And I'm sure that they wouldn't have wanted to do that. But unfortunately, this is, once you lose the fans, but what I'm hoping for, because if you want to use Manchester United as an example, when Fergie left and they had a very good manager who took over, David Moyes, they still lived on the Fergie's legacy that Fergie wouldn't have done it this way, so let's get rid of David Moyes, who then came in, another terrible manager, Louis van Gaal, won the Champions League twice. Fergie wouldn't have done it this way, let's get rid of him. Who came after him? Jose Mourinho. If you hold on to the past in terms of Jurgen Klopp wouldn't do this, so every manager has to fit into that, you're going to end up by getting manager after manager after manager after manager. You have to forget about the past. Mikel Arteta finished 8th in his first year at Arsenal, 8th in his second year at Arsenal, 5th in his third year at Arsenal. Did they sack him? And look at him now.
Absolutely.
So I'm hoping for Liverpool not to go down the route of whoever comes in, Areola, whoever it is, lose 2 or 3 matches. Are we going to sack him? You have to stick with the man.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say forget the past as a football fan because it's all we have, John, isn't it? But I understand the point. It's Max Rush and Charlie Baker on talkSPORT. Let's talk to former Liverpool defender Stephen Corker. Hey, Stephen.
Hey, Stephen.
Hey, good afternoon. How you guys doing?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, always nice to hear your baritone voice coming through the radio, Stephen. What do you make of this of the appointment of Iraola and then the sacking of Slot?
I'll start with Slot. I'm not that surprised. I felt that, with Salah making his statement, I felt like he made it twice this year. I felt that there was always something going on behind the scenes that maybe we weren't privy to, and the players maybe weren't as comfortable as what we thought they were. I mean, the first year, he obviously brought success in winning the league. The second year, not so good. I think John Barnes made some excellent points there about fans sacking managers if the fans aren't happy. It wasn't as rock and roll as what it was under Jurgen Klopp. I think the fans had such a high bar set from Klopp that they sort of judged Slot by that. He's out the door. Iraola, I think, is a top manager. I think he's done a great job at Bournemouth, incredible job actually at Bournemouth. I mean, they've got one of the smallest budgets in the year in the league. Sorry, and they are sixth in the table, qualified for Europe. I think he's a fantastic manager. Now he's got his opportunity to do it at a big club.
It was interesting you mentioned the Salah thing. I mean, I thought, Slot must have thought, "Oh, mate, you absolutely killed me here." But what was perhaps more telling was quite a few of the current players liked the post. I mean, it is that is the social media age, right? And you're still, are you still playing now, Stephen? But you're certainly playing in the social media, coaching, right? But you must have been in dressing rooms where the players were not having the manager. I don't know if you ever liked a post by anybody or you retweeted someone like that. But once you lose the players, that is it, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We are in the era of social media. I've tried to stay away from it, apart from LinkedIn, stay away from the Instagram and all the rest of it. But it is so powerful, right? And players know that. So when you're at Mo Salah's status and you do make statements like that and the boys like it, everyone knows that's a statement in itself, right? People don't have to match what Salah said just by, sticking a heart emoji on there. People understand the message. And I feel that, Slot, unfortunately, wasn't that well liked from the outside. It certainly looked that way. I mean, there's obviously some kind of distress within the dressing room, and Liverpool need a reset. This year they still qualify for Champions League. It wasn't a terrible year, but by Liverpool standards, by the standards that were set the year before by Slot himself in winning the league, it wasn't good enough. And I think that obviously Liverpool felt they needed a change.
I suppose the danger is with Iraola. If Iraola comes in and he gets off to a bad start, when do you start to look again? When that's the problem.
Give
isn't
him
it?
a chance, Charlie.
But that's the problem with changing managers so often. Is in his first season, Slot won the league, so it's so tough for them, isn't it? It's tough at the top, I suppose.
It is. To be honest with you, I feel like at all levels of football now, it's like, if I'm being honest, I feel like it's kind of ridiculous. Like managers are just getting the job for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and they're out the door. I do think it's kind of ridiculous. However, he's got a full preseason. He's even got this build up to preseason, right? So he knows who he wants in, who he wants out. He'll be having all those meetings now with the board. He's got a preseason to get his ideas across. If they're going to get players in, they've obviously got the opportunity to do that. And I will remind people, when he was at Bournemouth, I think it might have been 10 games until he won his first game in the Premier League.
He's a slow starter.
It's a slow starter, or he was at Bournemouth at least. He might hit the ground running in Liverpool. But I think people have to bear that in mind. Bournemouth stuck with him. And I remember a lot of pundits calling for his head at that point, saying, where's this guy come from? Why have Bournemouth brought him in 10 games without a win? But Bournemouth, like the fans and the board stuck with him, and they were rewarded for that. So I hope that if he does get off to a slow start at Liverpool, they stick with him. Because I think one of the biggest things as a player, certainly in my case, was consistency. You just want some consistency. And I'm sure the players at Liverpool want that and will need that in order to see the great days again of winning Champions Leagues and competing for Premier League titles.
And one thing he might have going for him is that Florian Wirtz didn't really hit the ground running, did he? It's sort of taken him a season to find the level, find the pace. Isak obviously had his injuries and couldn't quite find the way that Slot wanted him to play. So you think now they've had a season at the club, they might understand what it is a little bit more, so Iraola might feel the benefit of that.
Yeah, hopefully. I felt that actually none of his signings really took off last season for one reason or another. I thought Ekitike was probably the best signing. He obviously got injured towards the end as well. But I mean, is he the one making all the signings? That's the other thing you've got to think about. You know, the club making the signings, is it the sporting directors? Was it Arne Slot himself? There's so many things obviously going behind the scenes. But unfortunately for Slot, it didn't work out. You know, the pressure of being at Liverpool Football Club is huge. I realised that when I got on a train up from London to go up there on a short loan spell. I didn't realise the size of the club, the size of the fan base, the pressure that comes with it. So the expectations there are really high. It will be the same for Iraola, but I think John Barnes said it excellently just before I come on about if you take a look at United and they set the bar where it's got to be like Ferguson. If you look at Man City now and if they start comparing it to Pep, it's going to be tough for all these clubs. So I think just wiping the slate clean and starting a game for Liverpool would be a good place to be.
All right, good stuff, Stephen. Thanks for coming on, pal.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Thanks, Stephen.
Stephen Corker there. It's Max Rush and Charlie Baker with you until 4. Yeah, it is interesting because he is a slow start. He was slow at Rayo, I think, in Spain.
Right.
He was slow at Bournemouth, and so it might take a while because it takes a while for his tactics to get across to the players. And they need a bit of a rebuild as well. Like, I mean, I know they spent 400 odd million, but if Konaté's gone and Robertson's gone and Salah's gone, it's a lot of leadership.
Just worry that Thomas Frank going into Spurs couldn't get it going quick enough, could he? For the fans or for the ownership,
different in the style that they play. That's what I'd say. Is like Iraola won't. Frank was quite a negative manager and sort of said, "Oh, we'll lose some games." And it didn't work. But you're right. You just don't know. Every appointment is a gamble, isn't it? Darren says, I work in the airline industry at Heathrow. Oh, yeah. We have a colleague who's transferred to Gatwick. He's gone from the Premier League to National League South, he says.
Heathrow to Gatwick. Wow.
I recently transferred from Amazon to Yodel as a delivery driver. My Liverpool supporting boss always had it out for me as I'm a blue nose. His loss as I was the quickest driver and never left the parcels on the doorstep.
Never.
Despite our reputation, Yodel is class to work for. Fewer stops, more money,
he loves
and I have
club.
my own van.
He's
that, Jeff.
Kissing the badge. Kissing the Yodel badge. He's only just signed from.
He says, have that, Jeff Bezos, James in Plymouth. Now, Arnold Clark are celebrating what's set to be a massive month of football. You can be a huge winner in their June upgrade event. All this month, not only will you get 2 years free servicing when you buy any used car with Arnold Clark, but each week in June, they'll be also selecting one lucky person to win the cost of their car back here at talkSPORT. We've teamed up with Arnold Clark to give away some amazing prizes in our online competition. Do you carry on reading, Charlie?
I don't know if I have. I don't think I have the
Well,
piece
I
of
can.
paper.
We'll be selecting 5 lucky winners at random from our online draw who will each receive £1,000 in cash. To get your entry in and for full T's and C's, head to talksport.com/win and you can be one of our winners. That's all thanks to Arnold Clark's June upgrade event. Buy a used car this month. You'll get 2 years free servicing and could win the cost of it back this June.
Didn't mean to offend, did not mean to upset. Too many people that I've upset to name. I mean, social media is an absolute wash with it. So, it was only a little bit of fun. All right, that was all it was.
It's people's lives here.
I know, but they're football fans, right?
They're football fans, yeah. But the way you done it, I thought was totally
Look, Gabby, I got the tone. Me and Gabby, I spoke to Gabby earlier.
It was crazy. It was too much.
No. Listen, we got it wrong.
Targeted abuse. Targeted.
You make mistakes and you move on and you learn from it. All right.
But you wouldn't let off. You had your foot on their neck.
No, I understand that particular. I've been there. I know what it's like.
And
look. Look, okay, so I thought at the top of the show, the only right thing to do was to apologise and say sorry.
Yes.
To absolutely nobody. The double Champions League winners, Chelsea, can say what we want. Right, get your big boy pants on, you gooners. I've heard you whinging and cringing. Oh, he wore a top to work I didn't like. Oh, he celebrated a goal against our team. You lot moaning like 6 months old with nappy rash. Absolute wet wipes. The lot of yous, absolute wet wipes. Wow. Oh, he wore a PSG top. Oh, he...
We understand Celtic are prepared to make Robbie Keane their new manager if Martin O'Neill doesn't fancy one more year in the dugout. Our chief football correspondent is Alex Crook.
I think if he does have the energy, then he will carry on as manager. I think that would be Celtic's preferred option, but if he decides he doesn't want that, then that's where Robbie Keane, I think, comes into play.
Meanwhile, the Fulham have £8 million to spend on a new manager. Well, that's how much it'll cost to get Kieran McKenna out of his Ipswich contract. We understand McKenna is interested, though. Thomas Frank and Liam Rosenior are two other options to replace Marco Silva, who's off to Benfica. Now, Liverpool are in talks with Bournemouth about nabbing Andoni Iraola's backroom staff. He's agreed a 2-year deal following Arne Slot's sacking. The Telegraph's Tom King has been surprised with all the talk of Liverpool needing to play a certain way and says the only important thing is to win.
There are different ways to doing it. It hasn't got to be like, passing out from the back and running like 100 million miles an hour. If you win and it's exciting, you can do it in any kind of way.
Rasmus Højlund has left Man United to join Napoli permanently. Napoli's obligation to buy was triggered after they reached the Champions League. Højlund scored 16 and 44 in Serie A to help them do just that. And ahead of Saturday's Epsom derby, trainer Aidan O'Brien has declared 4 horses. He's going for a 4th straight win and a record-extending 12th victory. The race is live on talkSPORT on Saturday afternoon.
The World Cup bandwagon rolls on.
This World Cup will by far take soccer to the next stage in America.
Just love it. Love every moment because it is a beautiful game.
Lionel Messi pens the ultimate ecstatic chapter to complete his already extraordinary story.
They give us the faith to believe in these kind of things again.
Let the history unfold.
It comes to Vinicius Junior. 1-0.
Mbappe has a hat-trick. He has his place in history.
We are among probably the best team in the world.
A wonder goal from the Wonder Kids, Lamine Yamal.
Teams win championships. It's as simple as that.
Hey! 1-0 England.
Hamden can hardly believe it, but what a night this is for Scotland.
Every game's big in the World Cup.
heard someone the other day saying, well, actually, Brazil's midfield isn't that great. If they play a 2, Scotland's midfield could overrun them. Imagine if they won that. Anyway, I believe all 104 games live on talkSPORT on the World Cup. Let's talk to a man who played for England in Mexico '86. Peter Reid joins us. Hey, Reedy.
Hey, Reedy.
All right, chaps.
Nice to have you on. And before we get to the football, I want to talk about your involvement with a few pretty incredible World Cup shirts going up for auction. Martin Peters from the '66 final, Norman Whitesides from the '82 World Cup when he was the youngest ever player to play. Tell us about it, please, Peter.
To be fair, Bud talked to you, I didn't know what to expect, but you mentioned a couple of shirts. Alan Balls, who was the greatest. That's me, Everton, that's on. Obviously, Schultz. There's loads of gear here, and it just evokes memories. I just seen a shirt there that John Barnes from 1985 when we went to Mexico. Pele's World Cup winning medal from '58. It's absolutely outstanding. It's worth it. It's been brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, you've got to have a fair bit of money, though, really. 50? I mean, it's not the Maradona that Steve Hodge made, 20 million quid on or whatever it was. But it's, you've got to have a few spare if you want Martin Peters' shirt. Yes, Peter.
7.4 million it was. And he was my roommate. And after the game, he showed it me. And I can't tell you what my reply was. But, listen, I'm skint, I can't afford it, but Sir Jeff Hurst is here. He's going to buy it all because he's got loads of dough.
Oh, yeah, Jeff Hurst.
Don't tell him I said that.
No, I won't. I was just watching back that the Maradona goal, Reedy, because a lot's been made about the heat that's going to be the England players will, find in the States. And obviously, if there is a high chance that, if results go as we might expect, which is always dangerous to do, England could be a way to play Mexico in Mexico City in the last 16, I think. Was it so hot? Is that why you couldn't catch Maradona?
By the way, how boring you. No one's ever asked me that before. Honest to God.
I'm sorry.
Well, let me tell you.
Finally, someone said it, Reedy. Thank you.
If you said Mexico City was hot, you should have seen Monterrey before we qualified. That was brutal. It was a desert town. So Mexico City. To be fair to the number 10, their number 10, Diego, he wasn't bad. I've got to say that.
He could do a bit. He could do a bit, couldn't he?
Terrific player. I mean, obviously we all know what happened with the first one, the handball. I was with Terry Butcher yesterday. Terry's still bitter about it. I know Schultz is, but hey, listen, if when John Barnes come on, he stuck that cross in the last minute, and Lineker nearly got on the end of it. Yeah. If he'd have put his hand up and stuck it in, I wouldn't have been complaining. Part of the game.
No.
Got away with it.
Well, Gary's on later. We'll tell him you told him you should have just punched it in. But I'm interested,
you never listen to me.
It is it's interesting you talk about Monterrey and the heat, and because obviously you were playing week in week out in England, and then you went to Mexico, right? And it is so different. And I think sometimes as fans we forget. Once the game starts, we're not thinking about the conditions, right? And that must have that is the thing that I think might stop England winning the World Cup this summer, apart from how good Spain and France are.
Well, I think they have a break now after 20 odd minutes, don't we? Back in the day, they thrown polythene bags of water on, which was supposedly cold. But by the time you got one, it was boiling hot. But that's just the way it was. You know what I mean? That was the way. But I was fortunate. In Monterrey, I was having a suntan in Everton, and the late Ray Wilkins got sent off, and Brian Robson done his shoulder, and then I had to do some work for me, for me pittance. But it was a great experience playing in the World Cup, and arguably one of the most famous games in the world. To be fair, it's like. So Jeff's won it in 1966, iconic game against West Germany, and I think that quarter-final was iconic as well. We come out the wrong end of it.
You were some player though, Reedy, and you were in that brilliant Everton team of the 80s, weren't you? With Big Nev and Lineker and who else was in it? Gary Stevens, was it? And
Kevin Ratcliffe.
Andy
Ratcliffe, absolutely fantastic side. So were you sure you were going to the World Cup? How did you feel when you were selected?
No, it wasn't, because I played in one of the qualifying games against Romania.
Yeah.
At Wembley, and I'd done my Achilles, so it was getting back. Oh, and do you know that game? What I remember about that game, there was a young kid playing, dark haired, and you know when you see a good player and you go, "Hey, this kid's not bad." Adji, one of his first games for Romania,
really,
and he wasn't bad.
Yeah.
He wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I've got to say, but I'd done my Achilles, so I was out. So I just got in at the end. I'm always grateful for the late great Bobby Robson for picking me, and then obviously injuries and the sending off conspired for me to get in the team, which was one of the pinnacles of my career, if I'm honest.
Brilliant. And Everton this season, Reedy, Moyes has gone in and steadied the ship, hasn't he? And I feel like they're a couple of players away from, maybe not the title, but definitely sort of top 6, top 7.
Well, when we beat Chelsea 3-0, I thought, wow. But then we just fell away at the end of the season. Without criticising anybody, I think we need more strength up front. If we can recruit and get a couple of strikers in, I think it will help Everton next year. The new stadium is fantastic. And as you know, Everton Football Club, great football club, but we need to win a trophy. It's killing me grandson. I've got nieces and nephews who are mad blues. We need some silverware. By the way, for me, more than anything, I'm desperate for a night out.
Yeah.
Were you worried about leaving Goodison? I mean, there was that moment at Goodison when I think Tarkowski scored that volley against Liverpool. And it was an amazing moment, and you just looked at that stadium and you thought, God, to recreate this is going to be hard. And we've seen football clubs move and it not work out. It looks like it's actually done pretty well to create a similar sort of atmosphere.
You're spot on. I mean, I loved Goodison Park. It was one of the 66 World Cup semi-final played there. Dixie Dean, Alan Paul, Alex Young, the Gold Division, all played there. All great players. Pele, Eusebio. It's great, but the new stadium is fantastic. I was a manager at Sunderland when we left Roker Park, went to the Stadium of Light, and as much as I love the old grounds, the new ones are absolutely sensational. And the Hill Dickinson is absolutely brilliant. If you ever get a chance, go and watch a football match there. It's fantastic.
You mentioned the Stadium of Light there, and how well did Sunderland do last season? I don't think anyone predicted it.
Well, if I'm honest, I was at the playoff final, and arguably Sheffield United were the better side. The semi-final, Coventry went to their games, but the recruitment that the football club have done in that summer has been amazing. I mean, Xhaka has been incredible, and I mean incredible. And I'm up there at the weekend, but I've got to say, the atmosphere around the place now is amazing. And as you know, I mean, I love Everton, but someone's got a special place in my heart as well. It's great. And the other one, Bolton Wanderers, back in the Championship. So I've had a great summer.
You've had a good time, Reedy. Yeah, you've had a good
time. Yeah, look, England win the World Cup, then it's all sorted. Well done for winning it.
Settle for that. I'll settle for that now. I think it's going to be hard. I think you look at France and they're not bad, are they? Yeah. But we've got a great chance. We've got Kane who will get a goal, Rice and Bellingham, middle of the park. I think we've got some good players, but it's, as you know, how many is there? 48 teams? It's
a long few weeks.
104 games. It lasts 7 years, this World Cup. We'll cover every game. Thanks for coming on. It's always good to chat. And I'll think of a more original question about 86, I promise. Thank you, Peter.
By the way, I need to go for a pint now. You've killed me. See you, chaps.
Peter Reid there.
Hero.
There we go. What a player.
Oh, yeah.
What a player. Oh, so good. And and a brilliant server to Everton. Great manager at Sunderland. Played very well for City as well. And a chance to just look at Mexico. As long as for this World Cup, the goal nets in Mexico are as big as they were in 86, then we're due a great World Cup, aren't we? It is Max and Charlie with you until 4 on talkSPORT.
a lot of this book, you got a lot of praise for a lot of people in it, from Stuart Pearce through to David Moyes or whatever. But how much of your departure in that manner from West Ham did you feel was down to Graham Potter?
I think it was a lot down to him. Obviously, he didn't really know me as a person, didn't really know me as a player, other than what he saw me playing. But I felt like the conversations that I was having with him was like, he's got nothing to do with me, he's got to do with the chairman, and the chairman would be like, it's the manager. I honestly just feel like he was the one who really made the decision in the end. But it wasn't just me, it was obviously me, Aaron Cresswell, Vlad, Lucas Fabianski, Edson. Like, he got rid of a lot of the senior group, the leaders in the changing rooms. And I feel like he was trying to change things up and go more young. But then it's a bit of a contradicting factor because he did that. And then within 3 weeks, he was going, we've got the leaders in the changing room.
Mm-hmm.
When it's his decision to get rid of him. So it made no sense to me.
I think, Michael, I mean, I'm looking at this, mate, and one of the quotes you said in the podcast was, I had resentment against the club. I hated them. Nothing to do with the fans, just the ownership. The only way they could feel my pain, was to be relegated. Now, do you think, the question I would ask you is, do you think it was a personal attack? Did it feel personal? Or, as you say in the book, humans, not robots?
Get ready to get the ultimate football fan winning feeling with talkSPORT Win.
Yeah, listen up, people. The FIFA World Cup kicks off next Thursday. talkSPORT sending you and a mate straight to New York to see England live with Adidas, the tournament's official match ball supplier. We're talking a trip to watch England face Panama, return flights, hotel match tickets, spending money, all taken care of. Plus, Adidas is throwing in the official Tri-Onda match ball and a fresh pair of boots. Ready to get their winning feeling? Here's Charlie to tell you how to enter.
Yes, for your chance to win, you can head to talksportwin.com or text WIN to 83338. Text and online entries. Got £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or you can call 0343 418 7260. Entries must be in by 4 p.m. June 12th. That's when you need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a TalkSPORT promotion. Full T's and C's at talksportwin.com. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338 now.
Johnny on a real-life transfer. He says, I recently issued a come-and-get-me plea to John Lewis and they met the asking price.
Whoa.
I'll be moving there when my contract expires with my current club, Pizza Express, at the end of June.
Change of kit
good
as
luck,
well.
Johnny.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Going from stripes to green, I'm assuming.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you normally do, don't you? So that's important. By the way, we need a player for the Wheel of Football if you want to take on Ben, the West Brom fan, who is reigning champion, and he's a very good player.
Good at it.
But if you believe you've got what it takes, 03717 223344. We need one caller for the Wheel of Football. We're doing that in about 15 minutes' time. 03717 223344. Right, let's talk to Sean Daly, who's the CEO of the Millwall Community Trust. The Millwall Romans, which is Millwall's LGBTQ plus football teams, calling on Premier League and EFL clubs to adopt or create LGBTQ plus inclusive teams. New research says 41% of all football fans in the UK think football clubs across the top 4 leagues should have one. And over 8 in 10 among the LGBTQ plus community believe the same. Sean, thanks for coming on. How are you?
Hey, Sean.
No, very well. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Oh, you're very welcome.
It's a pleasure. Tell us a little bit about the Millwall Romans and what exactly an LGBTQ plus inclusive team is.
Yeah, so we're the charity arm of the football club, based here in Lewisham, right next to the stadium. And about 6 years ago, we decided that we need to look at the diversity sort of community that we've got, and to make sure that we've got teams that reflect our community. So we set up a mental health team, we set up women's and girls teams, etc. And looking at our community, we've got a big LGBTQ community. So it was ideal for us then to look at, as a football club, how do we set that up? So I worked with the London FA, and we adopted a team called the London Romans, who then come under the Millwall family, and they became the Millwall Romans, playing the Unity Cup, Unity League, and go all over the country, and European, they go and play in tournaments. So that's how really it was set up. It was just really to reflect the community that we work in, a very diverse community.
Sure, and like that exists across the whole country. So why do you think it's important that clubs get involved like Millwall have?
I just think it's that one that, the club reflects its community, and I think all clubs should reflect their local community, and there are spaces that we can all work in. We have a disability team, a power chair football team, because we've got those sort of people within our local community, and I think clubs have got to try and reflect their community. They've got a responsibility to go and support the local community, and there's an LGBT community within their local area. Why not go and set up a football team to represent their club?
So what is an LGBTQ plus football team? What does it look like? Is it mixed? Is it how does it work?
Yeah, it's an inclusive football team. What we try and do is offer a safe space for all our teams to play, develop, and have a social part. And they're all inclusive teams. So there are people that are in that team that are not gay at all. So and it's sort of around being inclusive and offering that opportunity for everyone that wants to be involved in it.
There will be listeners, I know, rolling their eyes going, "Oh, this is woke nonsense." So can you explain why it isn't? Because it is related, if you can be an ally, then that helps cut things like homophobia, and we know that is still rife in football stadiums.
Yeah, I mean, it's having somebody within the organisation that wants to put their head above the parapet and sort of say, look, we've got to reflect our community, we've got to set up teams, we've got to offer safe spaces for everyone to develop using football. And it just seemed a natural step for us as a football club, as a community trust. And we have the backing of the club, we have backings of the FA, the local FA, all those sort of people within it. But it's just offering those people those safe spaces where they can all be included and enjoy the game of football.
And you've created the Pride Playbook, and you're calling on other teams to use that as a blueprint for other clubs to achieve. And there is up to £428 million in additional match day revenue. I'm assuming not for one club. I'm assuming that's for everybody. Because as you say, you're representing the community, and LGBTQ plus people are in the community and like football. So to monetize that is obviously a good thing for football clubs as well.
Yeah, the Millwall Romans and the Millwall Pride, the two teams that we run, they're very much about embedding themselves in the community and supporting the local community. So I have the players going into schools, talking to young people around inclusion, around that sort of work. They've been involved in our shirt launches. They come on Community Day. So they're involved in a lot of stuff of promoting the football club as an organisation and the community trust. So there is avenues that we want to work with our local community. and we have groups in our community that we should be working with.
Yeah. Are you surprised not every club has this?
I think lots of clubs have got different groups. They have your LGBT fan groups, etc. We took it one step further and started our own football team. But so it may not be the highest point for clubs at certain times. But what we've asked out is have a look at it. What we support them fully. They're all ingrained within our Millwall family. They're involved in everything that we do. And we're just asking clubs to have a look at it. Have a look at the book that's been written. Come and have a chat with us. See if you would like to be involved in something around this.
Great stuff. Well, look, thanks for coming on, Sean. Thanks for explaining to us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sean Daly, there,
Sean.
CEO of Millwall Community Trust. And actually, it's interesting chatting to Sean on this subject or any other subject with community trusts. But from very minimal work that I do for Cambridge United, they have an amazing community trust. Speaking to Peter Reid there at Everton do unbelievable work in the community. And it's not often the big headline, right? It's not often going to be the big folding that you do about good work that football team. When you talk about Millwall, your first thought isn't like inclusivity in an LGBT class team. It just isn't that. And it is good to give airtime to those people doing good things in the game. Regards Stephen Corker coming on. Darren says, good to hear Lee Marvin on talkSPORT with his views on Liverpool.
It is a hell of a voice.
He's got.
He's
got a great voice, hasn't he? This says, Tom says, I played for Millwall Romans. Honestly, I'm taken aback by the culture and atmosphere that it's facilitated. I'm straight. I played with some of the best players there that I ever have, he says, Tom Welling Garden City. So that's great. And it is the other.
Some other people are texting as well.
Yes. It is Max and Charlie with you until 4. Wheel of Football, we need one player. Maybe we've got him. I don't know. But just in case we haven't yet, I suspect we've got 4,000 people who want to play. 03717 223344 if you would like to take on Ben, the West Brom fan. Ewan Thomas will come in. He's a Southampton fan. So we'll do some Tonda Eckhart and Spygate and 8-minute... what was it? A statement? 8-minute statement?
8-minute statement.
Imagine having to sit down and read an 8-minute statement about spying on somebody. Well, but I don't know. I found it. I'm soft. I'm soft, Joe, but I thought, give him another go. Why not? But other opinions are available, aren't there? So we'll chat to you and Thomas about that and about running. It's Max and Charlie with you till 4.
On the England front, then, what do you make of the squad, and are you optimistic from looking at the 26?
I'm optimistic in terms of him maximising the potential to get to the latter stages, semi-finals, finals, possibly even winning. But the book is on whoever is the favourite should win. For me, France are the favourites. They're strong, technical, physical. They've got good balance between midfield, attack, defence. So for me, they're the favourites. But England can do well.
Yeah.
But what I would do, once again, very much like in club football, you talk about backing the manager. I can't have an opinion as to whether I think Cole Palmer and Phil Foden should have gone. Because if the manager says the way I'm going to play is not going to suit them and I want to have Morgan Rogers or Elliot Anderson, I can't say to him he's wrong and he should have taken them. And that's what England fans have to do. Believe in the manager and trust, rather than we love Phil Foden. But if he's not going to play in a way to suit them, we can't then say they should have gone.
Yeah.
So I trust Tuchel. The only thing I'll say about that is that I don't think English players are very powerful, as we've seen. And Gareth was a perfect man for that job because Gareth, well, he's tough, but he will massage the egos and he won't shout and scream and take Harry Kane off if he needs taking off. He makes good decisions, whereas Tuchel is very combative. Now, will the players respond to that? If he then says, Bellingham, you're off, how are they going to respond to that type of thing? So as much as I think it's the right thing to do, are the English players responding to that kind of management? Which only time will tell.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good point.
So I said at the start, you've rewritten, the rap has been rewritten from...
well, it's a bit of a play on words. They're not re-releasing it. It's not coming out. It's not going to go on Spotify. It's just for this Green King campaign. They're kind of, you got to go on the on Green King socials to even see it. So it's not a re-releasing of the song or anything like that. If so, I would have probably gone try and get a bit of royalty this time around. You've got to hold your pint, but be there for kick-off time.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Max Rushden and Charlie Baker on talkSPORT here until 4. Just if Scotland fans are going to get nervous, Haiti beat New Zealand 4-0 in a friendly last night. So, that's your opening game. Got to win that one to progress. Matt, a Forest fan, will take on Ben, the West Brom fan, in the Wheel of Football in just a second. Before that, Ben has the sports headlines.
talkSPORT Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range, supporting van owners to get the job done. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon. talkSPORT understands Celtic are prepared to make Robbie Keane their new manager. That's if Martin O'Neill accepts a role upstairs. Our chief football correspondent is Alex Crook.
I think if he does have the energy, then he will carry on as manager. I think that would be Celtic's preferred option, but if he decides he doesn't want that, then that's where Robbie Keane, I think, comes into play.
To southwest London, where Fulham are contemplating whether they've got £8 million down the back of the sofa to spend on a new manager. That's how much it'll set them back to free Kieran McKenna from his Ipswich contract. We understand McKenna is interested, though. Who would our very own Ali McCoyster point?
But they've had great stability. I think 11th a couple of times, 10th, 13th. And the next step is European football, for a club like Fulham, but not at the cost of anything else. Do you know what I mean? So that they've just got to get it right. I just think Thomas Frank would be a good fit.
Liam Rosenior is another option. As Andoni Iraola edges ever closer to the vacancy at Anfield, the question remains, could the club have stuck with Arne Slot? talkSPORT's Simon Jordan reckons there's every possibility.
You know what Slot is. Now, interestingly, what Slot was talking about was that we now know what we've got to do next year. What you will see next year is very different to what you've seen this year. So why that wasn't bought into by the people that he's been working with for 2 years is a question for them.
Elsewhere this lunchtime, Rasmus Højlund has left Manchester United to join Napoli permanently. Napoli's obligation to buy was triggered after they reached the Champions League. That was thanks in part to Højlund's 16 goals in 14 Serie A games. And ahead of Saturday's Epsom derby, trainer Aidan O'Brien has declared 4 horses. He's going for a 4th straight win and a record-extending 12th victory. Live on talkSPORT on Saturday afternoon.
talkSPORT News.
Sir Keir Starmer's accused Nigel Farage of exploiting the murder of a student in Southampton, and a man will spend at least 31 years behind bars for murdering his pregnant girlfriend. More from Emma at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Spring forwards with Bridgestone Turanza all-season 6 tyres with a 25,000 mileage guarantee. Book today at quickfit.com. Conditions apply.
Windy for many of us, rain moving eastwards with most places getting wet this afternoon.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Wheel of Football. Here are your hosts, Max Rushden and Charlie Baker.
Good afternoon.
And here's Charlie to explain as articulately as he possibly can how the Wheel of Football works.
We used to have a Wheel of Football and now we have an A4 plastic pocket of footballers.
Yes.
Not footballers. We have 2 guests who will say 5 footballers between them. And I will pick out from the plastic pocket a category such as has watched the most episodes of Coronation Street.
Right, put it back in.
We will
Put it back in.
then discuss who of the 2 footballers we think has watched the most episodes of Coronation Street. It's as easy as that. Max is the ombudsman.
I'm the ombudsman. Now, just an update. Mark Bosnich gave me Craig Johnston's number, and I haven't got around to sending him a message.
We're going to need it by the World Cup.
He's as good a singer as Linvoy Primus. It's just difficult to WhatsApp voice note Craig Johnson and say, "Could you just sing In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins for me?
It was beautiful when Linvoy did it.
Well, Linvoy was brilliant at it.
Tough to beat,
but he will be. But I mean, I believe in Craig Johnson, but I just need to pull my finger out and message him before I go to the World Cup. Anyway, today's contestants, Ben, the West Brom fan,
Oh, he's back.
Reigning champion. Welcome, Ben.
Good afternoon, gents. How are we?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Good. Thank you. I think it was a big win last week, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I know it was a little bit, contested by the guy because obviously he was leading the prior week. But as you both said, that's football, isn't it? It's the way the cookie crumbles.
It's the way it goes.
That's the wheel of football.
Do you have a job, Ben? Are you not busy on a?
I don't, Charlie. Actually, I do this full time now.
Full time. Full-time wheel of footballer.
The publicity around it locally in Shropshire is fantastic.
Oh,
actually,
good news.
it's quite
Big in
time,
Shropshire.
So it's doing well. Yeah,
big in Shropshire. Matt is a Forest fan and joins us. Hey, Matt.
Hello, Matt.
Hiya, can I just say it's an absolute dream to be here today.
Wow,
good. And up against Ben, up against the world's best Ben. It doesn't get bigger than this.
I mean, pressure is a privilege, and it's just great to be here. And we all want to play against the best, and I'm lucky enough to be experiencing that today.
Congratulations!
Okay, let's play the wheel of football.
For all the work
then.
you've put in.
Yeah, absolutely right. He is a great story, Matt, of perseverance. He was rejected by so many academies in the wheel of football.
He was.
But
He kept going,
on
didn't he?
pushing, and
Kept going.
Now he gets his chance.
Dropped down a level.
Matt, give us a footballer.
I'm going to go with one of my Forest favourites. He's got a pineapple on his head. It's Jason Lee.
Jason Lee. Okay, Jason Lee. Ben, the West Brom fan, who are you going for?
I'm going to go with Aston Villa's prolific marksman, Bosco Balaban.
Okay, Jason Lee versus Bosco Balaban. Here
My
we go.
hand is in the pocket. The wheel is spinning.
What's the category?
And the category is interesting. Looks.
Looks.
Who's the best looking?
Who's the best looking?
I can't remember what Bosco Balaban looks like. I'm going to Google him. You carry on.
I'm going to say he is a bit of a dish.
Is
I will
he?
say that. But Ben is so good at this game. Ben, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I think you took the words out of my mouth. He is a dish, to be perfectly honest with you, and I was hoping such a category would come out. So nothing against Jason at all. He's had his fair share of criticism over the years, but Bosco is a beautiful fellow.
He's got curtains, isn't he? Croatian looks about him, lovely looking,
to call him. Yeah.
But I would say Jason has aged very well, Matt. I don't know what you think.
I think so.
I mean, I would say obviously Jason is the better looking. I mean, just certainly the most original looking of the two.
Mm-hmm.
And although, if I could just venture back to the 70s for a moment, although he didn't score a great deal on the pitch, he did off it.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know that. I'm not aware of his. I'm not aware of his sexual activity.
No,
but he did have a lot of clubs. I do know that he had a lot of clubs.
Yeah. I'm going to give it to Bosco Balaban, but he's very close there. So 1-0 to Ben. Okay, Ben, give us a footballer.
Can I go for another beautiful player, actually? Robert Prosinecki.
Robert Prosinecki, of course you can. Matt, who are you taking? Who are you going to give us?
I'm going to stick with Forest. I'm going to go for Dutch wonder winger Brian Roy.
Brian Roy.
Okay.
Very nice.
Brian Roy
versus
Robert Prosinecki. Okay.
My hand is in the pocket.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Out it comes. It is. Would pretend to go to the toilet, but secretly pay the bill.
Okay. Matt,
we've all done it.
You first.
I mean, Brian is famously known for being a very generous guy around not only Nottingham, but his hometown in Holland. He's got extremely long arms and not very deep.
Not very deep, but so he's always sneaking off, pretending to go to the loo, paying the bill on his way out. Okay.
Ben, talk to us about Robert Prosinecki.
Well, as I like to call him, Robert the Gifter Prosinecki. He was very well known as in his time. Yeah, it's a story actually that Harry Redknapp quite wisely told during his time at Portsmouth when he signed him there. He only signed Robert because of his gift-giving potential. In fact, actually, he gave a lot of assists in the physical sense during football, but as an actual tipper himself, it's obviously a strong part of the Croatian culture as well.
I can just see Brian Roy wandering around Nottingham, going into Hooters, perhaps, tipping and paying on his way out. What do you think, Max? You're the ombudsman.
Why would Brian Roy be going there?
That's just one of the restaurants in Nottingham that exists.
I understand. Well, I'm giving it Roy. It's one apiece.
It's 1-1. It's 1-1.
Okay, Matt, give us a footballer.
My favourite Panini sticker from Football 84, it's Romeo Zondervan.
Romeo Zondervan, okay. Romeo Zondervan had 5 skill and all levels in Treble Champions.
Did he? 5 at all levels.
Okay. Ben, the West Brom fan?
Oh, I shall go for, a favourite of mine, actually, Rule Fox.
Rule Fox.
Romeo Zondervan versus Rule Fox. Here we go.
What a matchup.
Yeah, it's a big
Rule
game.
Fox running down the wing for Norwich. Yeah. Okay, here we go. There it is. I've got it.
Yeah.
Person you wouldn't want to sit next to on a flight.
Okay. It's interesting, isn't it? Because I don't think either of them
Rule
are
Fox
really
would want the window seat. He'd want to be as
so?
close to the edge as possible.
Do you think on the wing?
On the wing.
But he's not tall, is he?
It's close to the wing. Why didn't I say wing on a plane?
Yeah.
Why didn't my brain work? Ben.
Go on then, Ben.
Well, unfortunately, although he's diminutive in stature, Rule is a snorer, and he was a terrible traveller, not only by air but also by coach as well. So you would not want to sit next to Rule.
What he does have a sort of blocked,
but a snorer.
Yeah, it's like blocked nose vibe to when you listen to Rule.
I've
Maybe
not
there's
heard
something
him
in there.
speak.
Matt,
We need something here to speak.
Why don't I want to sit next to Romeo Zondervan?
Well, there's 2 well-known reasons why you never want to sit next to Romeo Zondervan on a plane. First one is that he used to use an awful lot of hairspray, and so there'd be an overwhelming smell
of Elmet
that would remind you of sort of your nan's bathroom, really.
The trouble I have here, Matt, is
your nan's
I hate
bathroom,
to cut in.
Yeah.
Romeo Zondervan is a fully qualified pilot.
Oh, wow. Wow. Some information.
That's a blow.
Information has just reached us. What a blow.
Great breaking news. He is exactly the man you want to sit next to.
He's taking the points. He's taking the points.
Point for Ben. Oh, well done, Ben. What's the score now? 3-1?
3-1.
3-1, okay.
No, 2-1.
2-1, okay.
2-1.
Still in it, Matt. Give us a footballer, Matt.
Well, I'm going big. I'm going Remy Moses.
Remy Moses, okay. Matt, what have you got?
I'm going to go for. I can sense a hair off here, so I'm going to go for Samasi Abu.
Okay,
Samasi Abu versus Remy Moses. Here we go.
Some of them are hair based, but they're not all. So let's see what comes out. The hair one comes out. It looks fixed. So I'm hoping it doesn't, because it isn't fixed. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Very nice. Best at DIY.
Who's the best at DIY? Samasi Abu. Who was the other? Who else?
I don't know.
Who's the other player?
Who was the other player? We've got Samasi Abu and
Remy Moses.
Remy Moses.
Okay. Remy, tell us Remy Moses, please.
It's an easy one. This Remy Moses, obviously, family name.
Yeah.
Founded religion.
Moses wasn't a carpenter though, was he? Moses parted the waves.
He did, but he basically.
You're saying he was friends with Joseph?
Some of his best friends are carpenters.
He's in the same book as Joseph.
You've got Noah. You've got
Noah. I think they're like thousands of years apart. These people.
Someone makes a good point: is you wouldn't be sitting next to Romeo Zondervan because he'd be flying the plane.
I know, but he'd be. But you'd know how to act on a plane.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so Remy Moses, because one of his best friends is Joseph. Okay. Ben, what have you got?
Well, they called it the Abu Club back in his West Ham days, and it was a famous Thursday get-together where they used to focus on flat-pack furniture together.
Oh, really? They'd be down IKEA Wembley, would they?
It was brought in after the altercation between Messrs. Berkovic and Hart, and it was felt it was going to be a therapeutic session.
I can imagine how that would work. Sticking up a Billy bookcase to try and stop being kicked in the face in training.
Yeah, notorious in those days in the East End of London.
Yeah, that's true. That's good.
Game.
It's very good. Very good.
It's good at
Very
this
good.
game. It's a 4-1 win for Ben the West Brom fan.
Very
Well done,
nice.
Matt. You played well, but
Very
you came up
good,
against
Matt.
the get best. Another win for you, Ben. Congratulations, pal.
Cheers, gents. The streak continues.
Yes.
Thanks very much.
It
Great to be a
does,
part
yeah.
of the show.
Shropshire doesn't know
Very
what's in
good.
it. There we are. Oh my God, I'm crying. Family name. The way he said it. He says, Jack, what is this hybrid Culver House? How many toilets do you have in your house style game?
a good game.
As an infrequent weekday
New
listener,
game.
my mind has been blown. Really enjoying this one. Says this text, high quality stuff. Keep your feedback coming,
good,
please,
yeah,
on the
yeah.
Wheel of Football. But I'm enjoying it at the moment. Ben,
like
what a
it very
player he is.
It's rare that it's a game that we've started on a Wednesday and not taken from a Saturday. So it's like an
You're right.
actual Wednesday.
the West Ham DIY club to keep everyone on a level.
I quite like it. It's a nice idea.
You and Thomas.
Some West Ham players I wouldn't let have a screwdriver. I will say that.
So, player you'd least like to give a screwdriver is another category for you. Former Olympian, 400-metre runner, and Southampton fan, you and Thomas will join us in just a second.
When you guys won it in '98, the double, did you evolve after that?
We knew
or
that
did you stay the same?
We wanted to play offensive football, because for me, I totally agree with you, Simon. I will probably add something, that for me is very important. You cannot play next season the same way because I think the pressure will be high, in the medias, but as well from the fans, even from the Arsenal fans. Everybody is very happy and very proud of winning the Premier League this season. But we are a little bit frustrated in terms of the way they play. So for me, the most important, except the fans and the press, is the players. Do you think the players are very happy to play the way they did? Even thinking that they were leading the score against Paris Saint-Germain, even thinking that Paris Saint-Germain is the best team in the world, that there is no shame to defend against this team because they are such good players, But do you think that Arsenal, the players, will be happy to do exactly the same thing next season? You have to enjoy what you're doing on the pitch. This is the best way of winning things.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, something's going to break, into the team.
Would you have enjoyed playing like Arsenal play?
This way?
Yeah.
If I won the Champions League, of course. But they didn't. They won the Premier League, so they have something in their mind thinking, we did what we had to do to win the Premier League. But are you happy the way you they will say, yeah, very proud of defending, but in the meantime, Arsenal is not this. Arsenal is something different.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure why, the criticisms you was talking about, here in England, it's the same in France about Arsenal. I was very, very annoyed last week about that because I keep hearing the same criticism, about Arsenal. They are bad winners. They are not romantic, things like this. So something has to change because it's my club.
Good afternoon, all. It's Max Rush and Charlie Baker with you until 4. Martin writes, brilliant new game, lads. Now I know it was a time of miracles, but Moses predates Joseph by nearly 1,400 years.
Yeah, I thought it was...
Poetic license gone mad.
Two different stories. I thought it was a long time, but there we are.
Yeah. And Matthew says, Ben, the West Brom fan's been getting a bit too good at this game. Has he been spying on the other players' training sessions?
Let's ask our next
get
guest.
to that. Let's welcome British Olympian Ewan Thomas in. We're going to talk about running, Ewan, but we'll probably do some Southampton too. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, good, really good.
You look really fit, Ewan.
Oh, you say that.
You're running a lot. What do you do? What's your main workout?
3 young kids keeps me fit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the reason why I run, to get away from them, if I'm honest with you. So, I try and run a few times a week, gym a few times a week, and, Global Running Day today, so no excuse.
Today is
Global Running Day, so I have to go for a run.
I should have known that, obviously.
You should.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this.
Yeah,
it says
good
it
news.
on the piece of paper down there. How old are your kids, Ewan?
2, 4 and 7.
Oh,
crazy boys. I'm right in the thick of it. Yeah.
I'm 4 and 1. Oh, 4 and 1. Chaos.
Yeah.
Total chaos.
It's great.
And I'm old.
Wait till they drive. All I'll say to you, boys, as someone who has a 19-year-old, wait till they start driving.
Oh dear, sounds expensive.
Sounds great.
Yeah,
sounds great. If it means they leave the house, frankly, I'll give them the keys now. All right, let's do Global Running Day. That's why you're here, Ewan. So let's talk about that now. Running is good for you is the headline.
Yeah, it really is. It totally is. And Garmin have done a survey, and 63% of Brits now say they are runners, so it's more popular than ever. And obviously my previous life, it was what I did. I was a runner. But even though I'm now 52 and I don't have to run, I choose to, because, we all know the physical benefits, but for me, it's the mental health side of it as well. If I'm having a bit of a dark day or slightly tongue-in-cheek, if the kids are winding me up, I'll just get my shoes on, get my watch on and go for a run, because it's sort of my happy place.
It's the most bang for your buck, a good run, isn't it?
I think so.
Because you can go and do 2 or 3 miles if you want to, not particularly long distance, and it gives you physically and mentally what you need.
Yeah, and it's non-judgmental as well. So in terms of runners, as you say, can go for a 5-minute run, you can go for a 2-hour run. It doesn't really matter your pace or your ability. Nobody's going to judge you. Everyone's going to welcome you. And it's relatively inexpensive to do as well. And it's got that feel-good factor about it. I've never, ever come home from a run feeling worse than when I set off. So for me, it's the kind of the mindset, the peace it gives me. That's why I run.
I mean, I absolutely hate it, but I like it when it's finished. But every step, I think I might die during this 5K. And then the Strava man says 5 kilometers, and wherever I am, I stop immediately and go, that is it for me. As somebody who used to run really fast, I don't know how fast you're running now. Is it strange? Because obviously I've always just been incredibly slow. So I'm not running thinking, wow, I used to be like, this used to be my thing, because it never was.
Yeah, I mean, obviously no one likes getting older, do they? I certainly don't, especially I've come from that very competitive lifestyle. So I have to acknowledge the fact is I'm never going to be good at long distance running. There's always going to be youngsters who are quicker than me, but that doesn't matter to me. I don't run because I have to. I run because I truly want to. And yeah, everyone can improve. And Max, if you're saying you've never been good at running, I guarantee I could set you some training sessions and you'll become better. So a lot of people, I think, have the mistake of they just become a plodder because they do the same thing. The beauty of the tech that's out there, like the Garmin watches, they can set you a training program, and it also knows where you're at. So you wake up in the morning and you might have had a bad sleep score, or your stress levels might be high, and it will change your training session. It will set something according to how you are physically feeling. So yeah, I love going out running, and I think anyone who runs, you can always get better. And you know what? If you don't improve, it doesn't matter. No one minds.
As long as you get out there. Do you know what problem I have, Ewan, is my toes. I get bad toes. They're not injuries you've got. We've got 3 old men talking about their injuries. That's a nice thing.
I've never had a bad toe.
Bad toe. It's called hallux limitus. My big toe seize up.
Well, that's because they need a bit of lubrication.
No, they can't do it. It's just they seize up, and if I carry on, they get even worse. But I've bought some carbon fibre insoles, and apparently that will fix it. So I'm excited.
Or toe separators you can get.
I've tried
as well?
those. I've tried everything.
Okay.
But a good warm up is a good idea, isn't it?
What are your ailments, Ewan?
Oh, we haven't got long enough.
Come on, knees, hips.
Everything aches when I go for a toilet break in the middle of the night because I'm of that age now. Everything aches, so I get up in the morning. But funny enough, I found my happy medium. Like I could no longer go to a track and sprint because I tear a hamstring or something with break. But actually running at a slower pace, I found I can run for a long distance and I'm okay. I'm slow, but I'm okay.
How old were you when you discovered you were really fast?
I think I was about 9. Yeah, my dad recalls on a holiday to Spain, I was beating him and my older brother back from the supermarket to the villa every morning. And he said to me, I think you're quite good at this. And then maybe a typical story, I don't know, but very luckily a PE teacher saw I had something special, pushed me in the right direction, and it kind of went from there. And, I've said it before, I feel very fortunate that I sit here now as an old man and think, I actually made a living out of something I love doing. In essence, I used to run around in a circle. It wasn't rocket science, but I was pretty good at it. So, yeah. Lucky.
You still got the record? Have you still got the
It's
British
gone
record?
now. I had the British record for 25 years.
Wow.
Which makes me feel proud but very old.
Very good.
And what was that time?
It was 44:36. And I'm going to sound like an old man now, but I think if I had the modern day running spikes with this carbon fibre, I would have run.
These kids these days,
they don't know how lucky they are.
They're plugged in with their watches. Absolutely everything they've got. They're not just run barefoot. It should be barefoot.
Barefoot.
Should be.
There you go.
Yeah.
Zola Bud.
Although probably don't criticise going and watching.
I wasn't criticising.
No.
I wasn't criticising anything.
I was criticising the shoes. I'm allowed to say that. The old-fashioned plimp soles I ran in, and they're not like that now.
We should do some Southampton. You're a Saints fan. I just wonder, what have you made as a fan of this whole fiasco?
Yeah, I'm gutted if I'm honest with you. I think, listen, rules are rules, and Southampton did cheat, but I think the punishment was so severe. And I just feel for the players, the staff that were unaware, and most of all of the fans. And I think the most disappointing thing in Southampton were playing so well. How much of an edge did we get? Who knows? You can't really measure that. But all I do know is we're on the back foot next year, and I don't know how long it will take for us to sort of lose that shadow, if you want, over us now. But let's just fingers crossed we can start next season as we were going, and Saints all the way for me.
I suppose for the fans, it might have that right, it's just us against the world mentality.
That togetherness, I think now we're going to have it more than ever, because I think everyone can see we were playing well, very well indeed, and what happened was really, really tough. So I just hope next season we can keep hold of our best players and keep marching on.
Are you happy that they're sticking with Tondereka? It's clearly a brilliant manager. I don't know what you made of the incredibly long statement yesterday.
Yeah, I think as long as he's got the backing of the players, that's the most important thing. The players have to be on board with him, and they are. And then obviously the fans have just got to stick by him and realise he was doing a good job. And let's just move forward. And it was a disappointing end to what was a great season. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
So
Charlie
your
before
message,
the show said,
go on.
I was going to say, Charlie before the show said, you spy on another runner. I'm saying, what are you going to do if you spy on Michael Johnson?
He's
really fast.
Could you spy on athletes with that?
Funny enough, quite often a race was won or lost way before the starting pistol went off. You spend a long time with the athletes. So in the warm-up track, you'd have a little look across, think, they're looking good today. And then you'll have the initial call room. Then you have to get rid of all your music, your phones, your coach, say goodbye. And it's just you and the other 7 rivals about to do battle. And you can get inside people's heads. But someone like Michael Johnson, I wouldn't even bother trying to stare him out. But there were athletes who I definitely could, growl towards.
Your vest looks big.
Well, no, just give
your numbers coming off.
Give them the eye. Maybe walk on your tiptoes, make myself look 6'4", and I'm not. That kind of thing.
Are
but
you
no.
amazed in international running Olympics they still use safety pins?
Yeah, I am.
Why
actually.
is that? When you think,
I think it's probably the best method to keep your running number on. But you would thought there'd be some
come up with something else by
Velcro
now.
or something. Yeah, I totally agree, because it's quite a kerfuffle.
Isn't it?
But actually, as an athlete, it's part of that
a hole in the vest.
I used to like putting my vest on and make sure it was in the right areas. It wasn't going to puncture any parts.
Can't they print the vests with the numbers on these days in this modern time?
You have a different number for every race, so you'd be going through vests a lot. But yeah, maybe.
Look, we're here to answer the big question. Ask and answer the big
That's
questions.
what you get on talkSPORT.
We've done it here. Thanks for coming in, Ewan.
Pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Good man, Ewan Thomas there. It is Max and Charlie with you until 4. Steve, the Stockport says, I love the way Ewan told Max he could set him some training goals to get faster, and Max didn't answer. No commitment, he says. Come on then, I will. I'll commit. I'll commit.
A 5-minute plank.
Yeah, well, I can't get to 5 minutes. 2 minutes I'm at the moment. Okay. That's a bloody long plank. Plank. Alex Kitson, comedian and cricket fan, joins us next.
Liverpool reached an agreement to appoint Andoni Iraola as their new coach, Simon. He's set to sign a 2-year deal with Liverpool. What do you think is a bigger gamble here? Sticking with Slot or pivoting to Andoni?
Well, you have to ask yourself why they've done it. And obviously one would say that the performance of the team and their failure to defend their title in the way that were anticipated. Well, we had that previously with Klopp. They didn't defend their 2019-2020 title particularly well, but there was a massive connection between Klopp and the fans. Now, we've listened to Danny Murphy repeatedly suggest that the whole of the Liverpool fan base, which I probably think is a bit of an exaggeration, but the significant part of the Liverpool fan base were gone. They weren't part of any belief system in Slot. So that coupled with probably some situations around players, the failure to handle the Salah situation particularly well, the observations when you look at player development that no one's really advanced under him, all of those have probably come to a point where Iraola looks the exact opposite of that.
Right.
He looks the exact opposite of that.
So sticking with Slot was a bigger gamble.
Everything's a gamble. Everything's a gamble. What you know, sometimes the devil you know best. You know what Slot is. Now, interestingly, what Slot was talking about was that we now know what we've got to do next year. What you will see next year is very different to what you've seen this year. So why that wasn't bought into by the people that he's been working with for 2 years is a question for them. The interesting point about Matey Boy coming from Bournemouth.
We understand Celtic are prepared to make Robbie Keane their new manager if Martin O'Neill doesn't fancy one more year in the dugout. Our chief football correspondent is Alex Crook.
If he does have the energy, then he will carry on as manager. I think that would be Celtic's preferred option, but if he decides he doesn't want that, then that's where Robbie Keane, I think, comes into play.
Meanwhile, the Fulham have £8 million to spend on a new manager. Well, that's how much it'll cost to get Kieran McKenna out of his Ipswich contract. We understand McKenna is interested, though. Thomas Frank and Liam Rosenior are two other options to replace Marco Silva, who's off to Benfica. Now, Liverpool are in talks with Bournemouth about nabbing Andoni Iraola's backroom staff. He's agreed a 2-year deal following Arne Slot's sacking. The Telegraph's Tom King has been surprised with all the talk of Liverpool needing to play a certain way and says the only important thing is to win.
There are different ways to doing it. It hasn't got to be like, passing out from the back and running like 100 million miles an hour. If you win and it's exciting, you can do it in any kind of way.
Rasmus Højlund has left Man United to join Napoli permanently. Napoli's obligation to buy was triggered after they reached the Champions League. Højlund scored 16 and 44 in Serie A to help them do just that. And ahead of Saturday's Epsom derby, trainer Aidan O'Brien has declared 4 horses. He's going for a 4th straight win and a record-extending 12th victory. The race is live on talkSPORT on Saturday afternoon.
Good afternoon, Rushden and Baker with you on talkSPORT until 4. Edinburgh Festival fast approaching. God, can you have to keep writing new shows? Must be absolutely exhausting. Anyway, Alex Kitson is going up to Edinburgh in August. He joins us in the studio. Hey, Alex.
Hi, man. How you doing? All good?
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Alex.
All good. Alex. Thanks for coming in. Tell us about your show.
I'll tell you, it's called Now Look Here, and it's a show again. Yeah, you mentioned churning them out. it's my third hour in a row, and it's going to be about sort of attention and what you focus on. Those two things may or may not be linked.
And what do you focus on, Alex?
Well, that's the thing. What should I and what do I? And I think especially at the moment with all the tech and everything, so easy to get. There's so many things competing for the attention, right? And like that's what the currency is. And I'm probably like everybody else spent too much time looking at like my phone and stuff that I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
And so what do I do instead? And
it is really hard. It isn't. I mean, I made my New Year's resolution, which I've roundly broken, was I wouldn't look at my phone while I was going for a wee. I just thought, surely I have the attention span to not look at it then. It's leave it in your pocket. And I can't even do that. And it does make you feel like how, like smartphones have made us all just degenerate, right? And I don't know how you stop it.
I think it's because why wouldn't you? Every part of your brain is going, and they're doing all this like fascinating research on the human brain. Like it gives you every chemical that you could possibly want. So the caveman part of your brain goes, obviously I'm going to look at that.
Yeah, because obviously they know everything that you like as well.
Yeah.
So it goes, well, I like all these things.
Yeah.
The things they're showing me. Yes, I am absolutely interested in how Duke Ellington came up with Take the A Train. And I'm also interested in that goal from 1978. How do they know that?
Well, how do they know that lady looks appealing to me?
Oh, there's a reason. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The magic. Yeah.
But it also, it's got to the stage where if I see someone reading a book in a cafe, I don't trust them. I don't trust that they're pretending to do that.
I've started reading a book recently, Max, and
right.
Because
how's it going?
I sort of went, I haven't read a book in a long time.
I know, it's so embarrassing.
It's like, but you do find yourself going, here I am. Reading a book. Who am I? John Library?
Yeah, it's like you feel so clever that you're overcome with your own cleverness. Yeah. And I've started reading short stories because I think it's like TikTok but words, and then build that muscle back is my fear.
But actually, going to a comedy show and going to the Edinburgh Festival and being in, I don't know where you are. You're in Hoots Potterrow in the big yurt. So you'll be in a big yurt. It's about as analog as it gets for a comedian.
This is it. It's and that's why I love it. I think that's why comedy is increasingly popular because it's so live and it's in the moment, and albeit obviously very popular online and stuff. But I think but you'd think people wouldn't be turning out because there'd be people watching on their phones, but there's still that desire. I think that's an interesting thing about it, and hopefully tap into that and be like, oh, here's a proper show, and all those things that come with it in a year, which
nice.
So I think it's going to be good.
As long as you do.
Well, yeah.
You have to believe in yourself, Alex.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the and that's what.
So it's really good as well if you can get on the algorithm, so people can really just get in touch.
But that actually, for comedians, Alex, that is a really interesting thing that you have to. You don't have to do it, but like. Some comedians have come from absolutely nowhere and sort of bypassed the traditional routes that you have to do, perhaps getting to panel shows, whatever, by doing their stuff on Instagram and getting to like playing arenas. Like if you're a comedian, it's sort of part of a route that you have to sit there going, especially when you're writing something about attention and people being on their phones all the time, and then trying to get people to be on their phones to watch you doing your bits.
It's that tension where you go, and I it was very late to the party. I sort of tried to resist it for a while, and I used to work in schools, so I sort of had an excuse in that I wasn't allowed to. But all my sort of, not all obviously, but like lots of the peers I started with, went absolutely sort of huge, and
You have to let that happen, Alex.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do in comedy. Just let people get big, and then some of them will have their inevitable failure, some of them will stay there, and some of them will end up hosting Strictly Come Dancing. You just have to you just have to let it happen and watch it happen and enjoy your friend's success.
Enjoy fellow Devonian comedian success.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
That's what you have to do.
Oh, right, I'm just like peering in on a therapy session here.
Yeah.
You're a big cricket fan, Alex?
I am. Yeah. That's my
first test tomorrow. Do you think, McCullum and Stoke, did everyone get away with it with the Ashes?
I mean, miraculously, they've all sort of they've all come away, had an absolute disaster, and gone. Well, the problem was the definition of madness just do the same thing over and over again. And I guess we'll see. They've blamed it all on Zach Crawley. And
they've sort of blamed it on what they told Zach. They admit they told Zach Crawley to go and do.
Yeah, it was our instruction to Zach, so so therefore that's Crawley's fault. And I think excited to see what the what the change is going to be. Whether they're going to sort of bat properly, and I've not seen much of Emilio Gay, who's going to be opening the batting now. And
Sonny Baker though, you're a Devonshire man, aren't you, Alex?
I am. Yeah.
Sonny Baker is from Torquay. Do you know this, Max?
I didn't know it.
Yeah, so we've got some Torquay involvement in the Test side, and of course Ollie Watkins is from Newton Abbott. So there's some Newton Abbott and Devonshire involvement in the World Cup squad, Alex.
We're taking over. I'll tell you
exactly. Slipping down the ladder as we speak.
Very slowly.
People.
I suppose the interesting thing, Alex, is that just England at home are so different to England away, and the frustration of that Ashes series is with a bit more of a temperament, England could have at least won in Perth, and then it changes everything. But then we'll have a couple of home series and probably do okay, and then sort of
I think it's what's so I love about cricket so much, and is that like the conditions change it so much, and you can't be like everywhere is a challenge, even if you are the best team in the world. So like when India and Australia come here, and then vice versa when we go there, and I think the challenge of going and beating Australia in Australia, obviously, was seen since the last 15 years. It's been impossible.
On the theme of your show, you never feel more alive actually than when someone is bowling at you. I think, and you're walking out to bat, and someone is bowling at you. You think I am. There's no one else here can do this for me. This is
don't get out.
It's about as alive as you ever feel, right?
Absolutely, and that's the drawback. I was boring my girlfriend last night about how much Virginia Shane Warne was, and was teaching how to bowl leg spin, and she pretended to be interested.
What a catch you are!
I mean, this is the thing.
To bowl leg spin.
I can't believe she tolerated it for as long as she A has, B did last night. All of the things we could be doing. And
exactly, and this is the Doosra. Okay, now I'm going to stop.
We didn't get
that far.
We didn't get that far. That's level 2.
Well, look, thanks so much for coming in, Alex. Appreciate your time. And good luck with the tour. Good luck with Edinburgh, Alex. It's Max and Charlie with you until 4. YouTubers, Woody and Klein are off to the States. They've got 16 million followers on YouTube. They'll join us, tell us about what they're doing for the World Cup.
we've never had this combination in studio before. I wonder why that is. I don't
It's
think...
a bit baffling because, you know, on the one hand, you've got somebody who is genuinely a world authority on sport, and on the other, you've got Simon Jordan.
It's important to let Piers have these moments, isn't it?
Well, you've been on once back in 2022 when there was a disagreement, was there not, Simon? I remember we were speaking to Piers about the Cristiano Ronaldo interview, for which this man did win awards.
Yeah, he won Sycophant of the Year for it, yeah.
And you thought it was a bit too sycophantic for your liking.
It was.
What, the one when he left Man United?
Yeah, you know.
Don't be so
shut up, you. We've had that conversation.
When I allowed you to come I literally won a Scoop of the Year award for it at your event.
No,
the one you boast about.
We've already had this conversation, right? What Piers is being disingenuous about is I allowed him to come on up front under the auspice of the fact he thought he'd get the biggest numbers, which he didn't. Right? Ironically, John Terry got those. Ironically. But in this situation, we discussed it.
Good afternoon. You're listening to Max Rushden and Charlie Baker on talkSPORT, world's biggest sports radio station, here until 4. And now the YouTubers, Woody and Kleiny, are going to head across the States for something called Interstate, a 39-day live stream bus journey.
Oh, what a trip, Max. What
during
a trip.
the world. God, that sounds like an ordeal.
It's a nice bus.
Better be.
It's a lovely bus.
It's a big bus as well.
Yeah.
They join us now. Gents, how are you? Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, we're great, thank you. I'm Woody, by the way, if anyone...
yeah, I'm Kleiny.
Yeah, that's why you have to sit that way round, is it? So
it is.
Yes.
We sit as it reads and we stand as it reads, actually. Yeah. So
always at all times.
Correct. If we don't, we get a nosebleed.
Yeah. So look, you have 16 million followers on YouTube, right? So a lot of our listeners will know exactly who you are, and a lot of them will be like, I've not really got into YouTube. I sound like an old man. My YouTube viewing is my 4-year-old watching Brio train sets. So talk to us about your journey from starting to having 16 million, like the population of, I don't know, like double the Netherlands.
Well, if they haven't got YouTube, they hopefully got Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. Because we're on all of them. To be fair, we've got like 50 million across our platforms, haven't we?
Wow. Yeah, we have. Yeah, it's like we have to pinch ourselves when we think about it. But mad. It's been an incredible journey. Like.
We started out in football, yeah?
We started out in football, both failed footballers.
Oh.
Failed footballers, and then we went into...
How failed?
Didn't make it pro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then we went on Britain's Got Talent and got 4 yeses, no X's, got called the Anti and Deco football juggling, and still didn't get through to the semi-final. Cheers, Simon. Top man, Simon Cowell. Well played, mate. Cheers. Nice one. Cheers. I mean, what more have you got to do?
It's not his thing. Simon's not a football fan. It's just not his thing.
It's not his thing. It's not his thing. And then we went into YouTube.
Yeah.
And, it was a struggle. We filmed for like 5 years in the pouring rain, getting like 100 views. And then all of a sudden, one video just took off. And then,
what was the video?
It was a video called Can It Swim?
Okay.
So basically, we would just steal each other's belongings.
Okay.
And throw it towards water. And see if it can swim.
I had visions of animals going in the water, but no, I'm pleased it's not. Okay.
So I just grab his phone, chuck it into the pool, and he'd have to try and catch it and see if it...
Which naturally, I would dive head first into whatever it was. It could be a brick wall to try and save my phone. But
We was good at it though.
So people seem to sniff out online if you're being real, if you're being yourselves, right?
Yes.
So, so when you're making all that content and it's not getting anywhere, you're thinking, what is it we're missing? And then you have to just make enough so you start to be yourselves, yeah?
You know, it's funny, really, because I suppose on the journey and throughout what we were doing, I think that we always believed that we were making and we were creating good content, you know, but it takes time to gain traction. It takes time to get noticed and to build an audience, you know, and we always believed that it would eventually turn a corner and take off. It was just a case of the biggest price that we'd have to pay was time. And we put the time in, like Kleiny said, 5 years of not making a penny, and then boom, something clicked, and then we didn't look back, you know, and it's gone from strength to strength. And I mean, our first million on any platform was Instagram, wasn't it, Kleiny?
Yeah, it was Instagram.
And then from there, I mean, that took us 3-4 years to get to that point.
It's 5 years.
Was it actually even 5? Sorry,
5 years, yeah.
Misquoted myself.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, that was the hardest one, right? And then we sit here and we've put a 0 next to it.
It's mad. It's mental.
It's amazing.
We're still kind of working like we've got 0 subscribers.
That's the way.
Yeah, you have to. You have to, because it's a crazy game, social media, right?
Sure,
as soon as you stop.
And it's so competitive, right? Like they're just, because as soon as people see I can be a content creator, right? Then that looks like a fun thing to do. And so there's always people trying to take, you know, we were talking about attention just before, trying to take the eyeballs onto what they're doing.
Exactly. Everyone wants attention online, right?
And it's saturated.
So Wooding, Kleiny and Estate, you are doing 15,000 miles, 27 cities, 19 states, no hotels, no days off, and every second will be streamed, and you'll be on this coach for most of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds mental when you say it like that. I'm kind of like
thinking what you're doing.
I'm actually
thanks for
back out.
Like, what are we doing, Woods?
No, this is a bad idea.
Do you self-shoot? Do you have people with you? How does it work?
Yeah. So, I mean, this was a great kind of pivot for us. We've been doing content now for 13 years, but we've never live streamed. So we were with the biggest football tournament coming up in the world. We were like, what? There's no better time than to go on a road trip in America. Do you know what I mean? Route 66 and live stream it. We were like, why make content and do a 30-minute YouTube piece when we can just literally live stream 24/7 the whole journey? And kind of give the fans that ultimate POV experience. There's going to be so many people that can't get out to the World Cup, right? And no matter what time of day it is, you can tune in and feel like you're a part of it and immerse yourself in it. Yeah, we've been film sleeping as well.
Yeah.
So.
Although we're thinking of doing shifts, so we stay up to keep people entertained. So.
You'll do the night shift.
No. We're all doing the night shift at some point.
Is it like whoever rows the Atlantic gets an hour on, an hour off?
Yeah,
we just the camera will be on you and you go to sleep.
So what we've got is the bus is rigged up with 8 cameras.
Okay.
Right.
So we've got a production company remotely in LA who are going to be basically switching between all the cameras.
Okay.
It's like live editing, basically.
Yeah, live editing.
For live.
Are we going to have a driver cam? You can have, because I think you can, you know, whoever's driving the coach, you know, they're going to be, you know,
he's going to be
short sleeves and a tie, of course.
Yeah,
how it works, isn't it?
He's definitely going to be a big character for the show. But we haven't met him yet, so we need to scope him out and see how good he is.
Well, we did a little bit of a casting session.
We did.
Yeah, but it was through the guy who's actually we ordered the bus from. So.
Now, Woody, you're Arsenal, Kleiny, you're Spurs. Woody,
Yes.
what have you made of the the reaction to how Arteta decided to play the Champions League final?
Do you know what? I was out there with my son, and honestly, had the most unbelievable experience of my life. Sorry, I shouldn't just say that because obviously I've been married as well, so if my wife's listening, that was good as well. But look, it was an amazing experience. I think that from beginning to end, look, I know they had a lot of possession, but they didn't really threaten us, and I think that the game plan was there. I think the tackle from Mascara was a little bit uncalled for, really. I think that Nkapé was following round, Rayo was at an angle. We weren't being troubled. I think that maybe if he stayed on his feet, it would have been a different game in terms of we would have wound up winning, you know. But honestly, when we scored that goal, it was literally probably one of the best experiences and moments I've ever shared with my son. And no one can take that away from me. Do you know what I mean?
That's what it's all about.
No, of course.
Yeah. And look, come the end of the game, we know it's a lottery with penalties and so on. But Arsenal in the Champions League were unbeaten until that moment, which was on penalties, weren't even in open play, you know. And to still lose it, just go to show you, obviously, how good a team like PSG are, you know, so fair play to them.
And Kleiny, were you hate watching? Is that how it is, or were you happy for your friend?
Do you know what? I
wanted it for Bailey.
Yeah, like, I'm obviously a Spurs fan, but like, I'm not that type of Spurs fan, if you know what I mean. And with Woody being out there, I would have been happy if they.
You won't get a job here then.
Yeah,
that's what you're after.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I was going to say, although I'm exactly the same, Woody. Like, I'm not an Arsenal hater, and
no,
you know, obviously Cambridge are my real team, but like my dad is a massive Spurs fan, and I like Spurs run through me too. And at the same time, I just thought Arsenal got it right. I just think if you're 1-0 up against a team that are that good and you're really good at defending, like that's a way to try and win this game. You could attack, but PSG are really good, and we shouldn't forget they're really good. Well,
what about O'Hara? What would O'Hara be coming out with at this moment?
You're on the wrong show.
Yeah, I want to get on his show as well.
You have to call him.
We're quite we're quite matey actually with O'Hara, so maybe he'll get us on, right?
Yeah,
we'll go toe to toe with him.
Has anyone seen Woody and Kleiny? Yeah, they're in 15,000 miles, 2017 and 19.
Yeah, they're asleep. You can see them on Kick. It's fine. You can
live
see
on Kick,
like.
June 11th.
You are doing it as well. You are supporting Prostate Cancer UK. Is that a charity that's close to your heart?
You know what? This is a really big one for us because there is an underlying message here which is really important for us to kind of get out there. You know, we're partnering with Prostate Cancer UK, and there's a lot of misinformation which is out there as well, and we're talking about obviously men's health here, and there's a lot of people that don't understand and know and we need to kind of change things as well, because like 1 in 8 males will get prostate cancer, you know, and every 45 minutes, which is, as we know, a length of a football, half of a football match, a male will die from prostate cancer, you know, and there's no actual live screening which is actually in place, and it's one of the biggest cancers out there, you know, so we want to make a change, you know, and it's really close to our hearts because of being touched by it. And it's, look, let's face it, there's like everyone who's even listening to this, you're either going to be directly affected by something like this or indirectly for a family or a friend and stuff like that, and we all know those people, you know, and we've got our own personal stories to share while we're away. And we just really want to drive the awareness and get people to donate and help the charity. You
Good
know,
stuff.
100%. I think that like people are so used to seeing us, you know, do crazy stuff online with our content, but with this tour, there's a deeper meaning behind it, and that is, you know, men's health and supporting prostate cancer and raise awareness and raise a lot of money. And, you know, so we're going to be doing crazy stuff on the tour, but then at the end of the tour, we've got a segment called the Nightcap where, you know, 7 guys are just going to sit around on the bus having a drink and just reflecting on what we've been up to, and also talking about stuff that men don't usually talk about, and they should talk about it.
And that's like a daily segment what we're doing.
Daily segment, and hopefully we can raise some, you know, good awareness about, you know, men's health and prostate cancer.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Well, look, good luck with it all, and we will follow your progress, Woody and Kleiny there.
Please do.
Thanks for coming in.
You have to get us back on while we're away, guys.
Come on,
sure.
definitely come on the show while you're away.
Guys, thanks for having us.
You're really welcome.
It's a pleasure.
It's going to be all on
Max
Kick
and
anyway.
Charlie, all on Kick. Watch it there. Max and Charlie with till 4. Gary Lineker joins us next.
when you get these Arsenal fans ranting and raving and saying some of the things that they do, and then you get this nitwit over here popping up with his little brand of observation in social media.
What, Piers?
Yeah.
Little brand of 9 million followers.
Whatever, how many followers you've got, Piers.
Well, a lot more than you, Sancho.
Fantastic, but I don't judge my
It's
work
not a
by
little
that.
brand.
But I don't judge myself by those numbers.
This is a little brand. My YouTube channel is 4.5 million subscribers.
I'm delighted.
I have 9 million followers on X. So when I say something to 9 million
delighted.
people, I'm saying it to a lot more millions than you.
I'm delighted.
Yeah, but it's not a little brand. I'm not a little nitwit.
No, I'm delighted.
You may not like what I say.
I'm delighted.
But the platform I have is infinitesimally bigger than yours.
I'm delighted. You've pivoted into the digital world and hung on by your fingertips, right? But the bottom line is I'm looking at the content. I'm looking at the content, and you're asking me why.
Yes.
People are reacting negatively
There you go.
to what's being said. So I floated the idea without a great deal of commitment to it that silly comments that are antagonistic made by nitwits like him with big audiences.
What silly
Is
comment?
that better?
Well, give me a silly
Well,
comment.
I don't study your feed, but every now and again you
Give me one.
Gary Lineker joins us in just a second. It's Max and Charlie with you until 4 on talkSPORT. Right now, Ben Fletcher has the sport.
talkSPORT Sports Update powered by the Nissan Van Range. Commercial vehicles built around your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon. Ahead of the Test series against New Zealand, Ben Stokes has faced the media for the first time since the Ashes debacle down under.
There's been a lot been said over a long period of time now, but what I say doesn't really matter. What does matter is what happens at the end of the game this week and the end of the series if we win or lose. So, you'll be seeing an England team going out there still desperate to win.
There are frustrations over Jofra Archer's absence from the latest squad because of his IPL commitments. The England Test captain says it's a sign of the changing landscape of cricket. The Test summer gets underway at Lord's tomorrow. Overseas listeners can hear live ball-by-ball commentary on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel. To Fulham, where Kieran McKenna is said to be the #1 target to replace Marco Silva as manager. But our chief football correspondent Alex Crook reminds us there's a considerable stumbling block.
It's a difficult deal to do because his release clause increased to £8 million when Ipswich won promotion back to the Premier League. And obviously that's a big outlay for any club. It always amazes me that clubs pay the earth for players but don't really like paying for managers.
Thomas Frank and Liam Rosenior are also in the running. Celtic are said to be considering installing Robbie Keane as manager and moving Martin O'Neill upstairs. That's if the 74-year-old decides not to carry on in the dugout. Keane has won league titles in Israel and Hungary as manager and is understood to have held positive talks with the Hoops this week. And ahead of Saturday's Epsom derby, trainer Aidan O'Brien has declared 4 horses. He's going for a 4th straight victory and a record-extending 12th win. You can hear the best of Derby Day and the Oaks live across the talkSPORT network.
talkSPORT News.
3 members of the Royal Navy have been killed after a helicopter crash in Devon, and Sir Keir Starmer's accused Nigel Farage of exploiting the murder of a student in Southampton. There's more from Emma at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. Store your new tyres this spring at a time that suits you best from the comfort of your home or work 7 days a week with our mobile tyre fitting service. Conditions apply.
A windy afternoon in store for most of us with a big old band of rain moving eastwards.
Lineker! The World Cup campaign at last is on the move. Superbly done for Hodge. Lineker is in the middle. Lineker! Brilliant! We're waiting for a cross. And here's Tottenham's Gary Stevens. And here's Lineker onside, 3-0. Hoddle and Lineker. Here's Hodge.
Not that song, but that player. That's what I'd say.
Gary Lineker joins us on talkSPORT. Hey, Gary, how are you?
Hey, Gary.
I'm all right, Max. Charlie, how you doing?
Very well.
Very good. I presume that's you. That's your alarm to wake you up, is it? That kind of thing. Just
what the showing that commentary?
Yeah.
Yeah, just Lineker.
Yeah, that's my wake up call. I play it every day.
Now, look, Rest is Football. It was big enough anyway. Now you've signed with Netflix. Will you give other podcasters a chance, Gary?
You do all right, Max. You do all right. You're the only one of the few football podcasts that competes with us to a degree.
Well, we're trying our best. Yeah. I mean, it's a massive deal for you guys. What's your plan for the World Cup then?
We've got 40 shows in 40 days, so very, very much looking forward to it. We're based in New York, and we'll be basically talking football. So it'll be, I mean, having covered obviously a lot of World Cups in my life and played in a couple as well, you all know that the country, not just the country, but the world goes completely bonkers for it. It'll be... we never know quite what's going to happen in the World Cup, but in terms of the Netflix show, obviously it'd be based around our podcast, which will still go out. Alan and Micah. Micah mainly will be joining us remotely because he'll be in Salford because for some reason the BBC are not going till the end. That stage is a bit odd. But Alan is based in New York as a co-commentator, so he'll be in and out. But we've got lots of other guests that will be announced in due course. Some big names in football and a few people that not necessarily associated with football, some big stars as well. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I think it's going to be great fun, and I quite like watching the football as well.
Yeah, I just announced Harry Maguire, Gary. Did you tap him up as soon as Tuchel didn't?
No, we funnily enough, we spoke to Harry quite some time ago when he was not playing at all, and he was really out of the picture completely.
Right.
So, and it was funny at the time because we did the deal with him like months and months ago when he was going through that sticky spell at United. And he did ask for a clause, should I make the England squad? I thought to myself, you really don't need that clause, Harry. If you're picked, you're going to we'll be fine with it. Don't worry about it. As it's transpired, I think he's been really unlucky, actually, not to make the squad. Actually genuinely disappointed for him. Given his experience as well, he's never let England down. I thought Dan Burn was probably fortunate to get the nod ahead of him, but it's one man's decision. Thomas Tuchel has done it, and we've asked for someone to make big calls. I think we all, I mean, you know what it's like. We all have our differences of opinion on England squads and England lineups, but won't stop us from giving our own. But there are a few that I wouldn't have done, but it's his choice. And ultimately, it'll be judged by what happens on the field.
Yeah. What's your emotion towards the World Cup, Gary? Golden boot in 1986. We all know what happened in Italia 90, within touching distance of it. And then, disaster in 1994. What's your overriding emotion when it comes to World Cups?
I love them. To be a part of them was amazing. To play in two, and obviously 1986 changed my life, because obviously I went into it as I had a really good season at Everton, scored a lot of goals. Yeah. And then to go to the World Cup, though, but suddenly we didn't start very well, but then things happened for me as well in particular. So ended up, winning a golden boot and got to move to Barcelona, and you become really well known right around the world. A massive difference to my life. 4 years later, I think it was very much a seminal moment for football. Yeah. In this country, I would say, in the sense that I think there wasn't just working class people that were interested. I think it went beyond that. And women as well. There was such a bigger interest in it. And then you had, obviously, the new stadiums were built after the issues of Heysel and Hillsborough. So I think that was a really important time in our footballing culture. And I look back on those memories really, really fondly.
Obviously, you've been pretty outspoken politically on things. This is something that I find a really hard balance to make on here and on the Guardian Football Weekly as well, about talking about the football and talking about the stuff off the pitch as well. And clearly there's so much happening, especially in the United States, in Mexico as well, and we talked a lot about human rights in Qatar, and now we have, and I'm guessing you're not Donald Trump's biggest supporter. I would say Gary is an educated guess.
You trying to make it so I can't get in? Is that what's not going to let me in?
No, I'm saying, are you worried about the queue? Yeah,
Don't fall for the trap, Gary. Don't fall for the trap.
Will you be deleting your tweets in immigration queue? No, I'm interested to know how I find this balance really hard about how to cover, all the stuff, because people really want the football. Football is an escape for people, but you don't want to ignore other stuff that's happening because sport and politics are inextricably linked.
Yeah, and nor will we. I think if you look back, I've covered a lot of World Cups. I'll just take the last few. So 2014, massive demonstrations all over Brazil before the World Cup started about the fact that the money was being spent on stadiums when it should be spent on their infrastructure, their health service, etc. Massive demonstrations. 2018, it was 4 years after Russia invaded Crimea. So there were massive concerns about that. 2022, we talked about LGBTQ rights. We talked about people losing their lives, building the stadiums, etc. And also the fact that when the bid was originally, it was pretty obviously corrupt, as we know that a lot of people from FIFA were found out. So, wind forward to this one, again, we're starting to talk about things before the World Cup that we're worried about. And there is a difference with this one in the sense that I don't think we've ever had a host nation at war with one of the competitors. So we don't really know what's going to happen. I'm concerned about a number of things. Ticket pricing being one, which is a slightly separate issue, not particularly political, but for me it is. So there are concerns going into it, but there are concerns into pretty much every World Cup I've been to. And what tends to happen, and please let this happen again, is that once the football kicks off, it takes over everything, and that's all we really think about. And everything is okay. Now, obviously, in Trump's America, we're not quite sure what will happen because you don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next. But fingers crossed. But I do share your concerns, Max. It is a worry, but hopefully football will benefit. The one major thing for me, aside from the political issues, is particularly the ticket pricing, because we want to see thousands of Argentinians and Brazilians and the Dutch in their orange shirts and England fans going, and hopefully they can afford it.
Yeah, and Scott, there are fans who probably can't afford this. You go, well, if you're an England fan, you go, fair enough, you can skip one. But Scotland haven't qualified for so long, and now you get this World Cup, and the ticket prices are completely insane. I totally agree with you. You played in '86 in the heat. We talked to Peter Reid a bit earlier about the heat, and he was like, it was incredibly hot. So England could face Mexico in Mexico City. I think the quarterfinals, it's possible. Like, how hard is it for people who normally
16,
play here?
it could happen.
Yeah, last 16. That's right. To acclimatise.
It is difficult. I remember when pre-Mexico we trained in steam baths. I know it sounds bonkers, but we're doing running on the spot, and press-ups and all this sort of thing.
Bin bags.
Because we had a double problem, and England could face this problem as well if they end up with that encounter in Mexico City, because you're going to have to acclimatise in terms of the heat in pretty much all places. And to be honest, the World Cup is generally played at time of year.
Hot.
Even if it's in Europe, it's pretty hot. So that's going to be a problem. But they also might have to cope with altitude, because Mexico City is very high. Our major issues, we had to cope with the heat of Monterrey, which was where we played our group games in '86, and it was like 42, 43 degrees. It was ridiculous. I thought I was going to die after I'd scored the hat-trick, because you run around celebrating, and then you think, I should have saved my energy. And then we had to adjust. And prior to the World Cup, we were in Colorado at altitude, so that if we did go back up to Mexico City, because Monterrey was not at altitude. So we had to try and adjust that as well. So we had a lot of problems. And England will have to cope, because I don't think they're going to do altitude training. But I think the best thing for them would be probably not to have that game in Mexico City. Because you know what it's like. We all think this is the draw. They'll play them, and it never, ever turns out that way.
Never.
So
I mean, you'll both remember when I played a six-a-side game against some 80-year-old Bolivian farmers up a mountain.
I remember
could
that.
not breathe. Honestly,
I might have missed that game, Matt. Sorry.
How dare you? How dare you?
I remember Gary scoring the hat trick, Max, but I don't remember you doing that. No.
Where do you have England finishing in this tournament, Gary?
I think we're an outside bet. I don't think we're without a chance. I think it'd be difficult. But we have got a lot of talent. I think the most likely winners are probably Spain for me. I think that everything points to them, but in World Cups you never know. I think Argentina will make probably a strong defence of their trophy, have a chance. France, everyone fancies them. I'm not so sure. I think most of their talent is in forward areas. I wonder whether they'll implode. We'll wait and see. But obviously they have to have a chance. But I think after probably Spain, France, and possibly Argentina, I would put us in a group of countries along with Brazil and possibly Portugal if they can. Manage.
Drop Ronaldo. Manage, drop. We'll see. Stay with us,
not
Gary.
Necessarily drop because he might be an important part. But you know, if it becomes about him rather than the team, but we'll see.
Yeah, that sounds very unlikely with Cristiano, doesn't it? It's Max and Charlie with you. For Gary Lineker with us for one more bit. This is brought to you with Toolstation. Open from 7 a.m. Monday to Saturday. Grab what you need, get on site, get it done. First stop, Toolstation.
I mean, Jamie Carragher's been talking on the overlap in the last couple of days, and he's raised some concerns about Iraiola's appointment as well. He says it almost feels a year too early. I look at it and think, can I see this man winning the league for this club? And I get that point, but on the other hand, you know, can you see Enzo Maresca winning the league? It is first season for Manchester City. You just don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know.
Listen, it's our job to sit here and forecast and guess, and that's exactly what we're doing. But the fact of the matter is, we don't know. What we've all kind of opinion on, is, I still think it's an interesting decision when Alonso was available. And you can guarantee that if it doesn't work, and I hope it does, that's the one thing that Liverpool fans will be saying, why did we not go for Alonso when he was available?
Yeah. Yeah, again, I think we said it yesterday. I mean, it tells me that at Liverpool, the plan was to stick with Arne Slot.
Yeah.
And maybe they've told Alonso that, and that's why he's gone to Chelsea. Yeah. And then something has happened, maybe player power, whatever, which has meant they've changed tack and they've gone for Iraola. Look, he's a fantastic, I think, charismatic, charming man.
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody, I'm sure, will wish him well next season. I'll tell you what he does do, though, is...
Hi, good afternoon. You're listening to Max Rush and Charlie Baker on talkSPORT here until 4. Gary Lineker, World Cup 86 Golden Boot winner.
What a player, Max. What a player.
Yes, good player. I don't disagree with you. And we'll do some Spurs, we'll do some Everton, some Leicester if he can, if he doesn't mind in a second. But Gary, you're voicing adverts for your son's business on talkSPORT. Nice. Did he pay you well for that?
No, not a penny.
Unbelievable.
not a penny, but happy to do it because I think it's a really good thing. You know, you can 2 numbers in one phone. I've used it for a long time, and it's really helpful. I'll be honest, I give that number out to journalists and stuff, but you can use, it's via WhatsApp Business. It's 2 numbers. In just one phone. I see so many people walking around with 2 phones, etc. And I think it's really for business people that trying to kind of differentiate their personal life from their work life, and it works a treat. I give it to journalists and people that I don't really want to have my number.
I mean, I can think of other uses. I can think of other uses for it, Gary. Actually, but I won't bring those up now.
I just don't know which Gary Lineker's number I've got. Is the question.
That's exactly why I said that. No.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought he does reply quickly, doesn't he? That's your business number. There is a talkSPORT offer, by the way. A coupon code talkSPORT, 50% off for 3 months, £3.50 plus VAT. If that sounds up your street. Did you miss doing Match of the Day this year, or was it quite nice on a Saturday to just?
To be honest, I never missed
lie on the sofa.
Football, and I never missed. Even playing golf when I gave that up. So I definitely didn't. Actually, I really enjoyed for the first time in my adult life to have regular weekends off. And I've made the most of it. Either going for, special lunches or little trips away for the weekend. So I've really enjoyed. I mean, I love the show and I love doing it for a long time, but I didn't necessarily love by the end of it travelling up to Manchester and then early in the morning on a Saturday and arriving back about 3 a.m. on Sunday morning. So I don't miss that aspect in particular, but I still watch the show. I watch it every week. I watch it on Sunday morning though, not on Saturday night.
The cheats way, I call that, Gary.
I don't miss
That's
it,
the cheats
but
way.
I also have a lot of love for it.
I always think you've not watched Match of the Day unless you've fallen asleep in front of it. That's what I always think.
Well, I've never done that. You see, I fell asleep a couple of times during the show.
Depends who the pundit was.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not going to get drawn into that one either.
Would you get drawn into whether Mikel Arteta was anti-football, parking the bus, the end of the entire game as we know it, or actually tactically what he should have done against PSG?
Well, I think it was the right way against PSG because I think if they had gone toe-to-toe, I don't think they've got the players to compete. I think PSG, man for man, around the pitch, certainly in attacking position. Take the 2 front threes, I don't think you can really compare. So I think on that sense that that was the option for Mikel Arteta against PSG. I think generally I'd like to see now maybe that they've got that off their back. They've finally won the league title, that he'll be a bit more adventurous with his football. But I think that's also down to players as well. So, yeah, I think it was the right way to play, but I think overall you have to say the better side won. And they've been, they are a joy to watch, PSG, the way they play. And I think as an attacking player myself, I think it was a victory for attacking football. And I think the teams we've really enjoyed watching this season, certainly I have been Bayern Munich, Barcelona and PSG, because the fact they just go for it. They play high and they push their wingers and they get their wingers to take people on. It's adventurous, entertaining football. And I think ultimately that's what we want to see. Now, I wanted Arsenal to win. I'm not one of those people that don't want English teams to win unless it's their own. And I was disappointed for them. But I think perhaps football was the winner on this occasion.
Yeah, you mentioned Bayern Munich there. Harry Kane there, of course, looks a refreshed man. Like the pressure's come off him a little bit. A nation's hopes on him in the World Cup. Like they were on you, Gary. How did you cope with the nation's pressure on you to score the goals?
Well, you love it if you do it. If you don't, it's not so good.
Yeah.
I think Harry, you say, looks like the pressure. I think with Harry, it's about his fitness. I think 2 years ago in the Euros, he wasn't right. I think that's been said now. I think he was struggling with his back and he wasn't particularly mobile. And also, we didn't necessarily play with two wide players that were running past and beyond him, which I think Tuchel will get, and I think he's picked the players to do that. So you've got to bring the best out of him. But I have no concerns about as long as Harry Kane is 100% fit, we've got probably the best number 9 in world football.
How big were your concerns back to the Premier League of Spurs going down, Gary?
Oh, pretty big. I would have hated. You don't want to see a club like Spurs. I mean, especially as I had 3 wonderful years there. I love that club. So I think like most Spurs people and fans or former players, relieved was the emotion, I think, at the end of that season.
Oh, God. And Leicester in League One now. I mean, it does give you a chance to go to the Abbey Stadium, the home of football, Gary. But that aside,
there's always a positive.
It's always
every cloud, right? But that is such a blow, isn't it? And what is it? 10 years since winning the league.
Well, if you think about it, though, if you think for a Leicester fan, and it is obviously at the moment, it's pretty dismal and pretty depressing. But it's not that long ago. Like we go back, 13 years ago, 14 years ago, we were in League One.
Yeah.
We got a promotion up to the Championship. Then we got promotion up to the Premier League. Then they stayed up miraculously by winning 7 of the last 9 football matches. And then went on to win the league. Played in the Champions League, got to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, which was the furthest that any of the English clubs got that particular season. Finished 5th a couple of times in the Premier League, won the FA Cup, won a Community Shield, and then got obviously relegated, promoted again, relegated, and then relegated. I mean, it's not dull being a Leicester City fan.
No, I'd
would I
take it.
swap any of that for where we are now? No, give me that.
Do it all again.
I chat with my boys. 3 of my boys support Leicester. And they absolutely said, well, would you change it? No, never. Because what we lived was so special. It was incredible.
I was with I was with Wes Morgan and Robert Huth yesterday at the talkSPORT Paddle World Cup. And they played in a charity game on Sunday for that. I don't know if you heard about this.
Yeah, I did.
It ended 0-0.
It's amazing.
And Tony Pulis played a back 5, Gary, in a charity game.
Well, within character, that's perfect. What more do you want? I mean, Wes Morgan and obviously would have liked that, I suppose. But yeah, that doesn't surprise me. No. I mean, Leicester won that title, and I remember Robert Huth, who's got quite a good sense of humour, considering he's a German. Yeah. Someone said to him, didn't they? But how do you win a Premier League title with a back 4 of Danny Simpson, Robert Huth, Wes Morgan, and Christian Fuchs? And he went, easy, N'Golo Kante. So.
Who's in the World Cup, isn't he might be the whole of France's centre mid, still there, however old he is. I'm just told you've got 10 World Cup goals. Harry Kane's got 8. So you're hoping he gets 1 and then does his ankle. That's what you're hoping for.
I really wanted to beat it. Do you know the beauty of these things? People say, "Oh, you're going to be gutted if your record gets broken," but all it does really is remind people that you were actually all right at this football game a long time ago. So, you'll see on every TV station, if Harry gets a goal, he's only 1 behind Lineker now, and it will go on like that until he goes past me. So I really want him to go past me, because if he doesn't, we ain't going to win it. And if we want to have any chance at all, we need Harry in top form.
Fantastic.
Well, Gary, it's been a real pleasure.
Gary.
I'll be podcasting in New York, and I'll just check is this your home number or your business number? 078-114.
Bring a bloody number out, please. Either one of them.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Cheers, Gary. Thanks for coming on.
Gary.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Good man. Gary Lineker there. So the rest is football, on Netflix as well. What a those. I mean, Italian for us, Italian 90.
Just absolute. Take me back.
Can we play Nessun Dorma? Can we come out with Nessun Dorma?
Let's do that. That'd be
just
nice.
come on, just find us Nessun Dorma
Nessun
for
Dorma.
that.
We'll do 2 minutes of Nessun
yeah.
Dorma. Everyone enjoys it.
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah, he's a good egg, Gary Lineker. It is Max and Charlie with you until 4. Paddy's challenge in a sec. Steve Harmison will join us ahead of the first test against New Zealand too.
Didn't mean to offend, did not mean to upset. Too many people that I've upset to name. I mean, social media is an absolute wash with it. So, you know, it was only a little bit of fun. All right, that was all it was.
It's people's lives here.
It's I know, but they're football fans, right?
They're football fans, yeah. But the way you done it, I thought was totally.
Look, Gabby, I got the tone. Me and Gabby, I spoke to Gabby earlier.
It was crazy. It was too much.
No. Listen, we got it wrong.
Targeted abuse. Targeted.
You make mistakes and you move on and you learn from it. All right.
But you wouldn't let off. You had your foot on their neck.
No, I understand that particular. I've been there. I know what it's like.
And
look. Okay, so I thought at the top of the show, the only right thing to do was to apologise and say sorry.
Yes.
To absolutely nobody. The double Champions League winners, Chelsea, can say what we want. Right, get your big boy pants on, you gooners. I've heard you whinging and cringing. Oh, he wore a top to work I didn't like. Oh, he celebrated a goal against our team. You lot moaning like 6 months old with nappy rash. Absolute wet wipes. The lot of yous, absolute wet wipes. Wow. Oh, he wore a PSG top. Oh, he jumped around. Wow. Do you know what? If it happened again tomorrow, I would do it again tomorrow. Wow. Up the Chelsea. Here we go. There she.
We understand Celtic are prepared to make Robbie Keane their new manager if Martin O'Neill doesn't fancy one more year in the dugout. Our chief football correspondent is Alex Crook.
I think if he does have the energy, then he will carry on as manager. I think that would be Celtic's preferred option, but if he decides he doesn't want that, then that's where Robbie Keane, I think, comes into play.
Meanwhile, the Fulham have £8 million to spend on a new manager. Well, that's how much it'll cost to get Kieran McKenna out of his Ipswich contract. We understand McKenna is interested, though. Thomas Frank and Liam Rosenior are 2 other options to replace Marco Silva, who's off to Benfica. Now, Liverpool are in talks with Bournemouth about nabbing Andoni Iraola's backroom staff. He's agreed a 2-year deal following Arne Slot's sacking. The Telegraph's Tom King has been surprised with all the talk of Liverpool needing to play a certain way and says the only important thing is to win.
There are different ways to doing it. It hasn't got to be like, passing out from the back and running like 100 million miles an hour. If you win and it's exciting, you can do it in any kind of way.
Rasmus Højlund has left Man United to join Napoli permanently. Napoli's obligation to buy was triggered after they reached the Champions League. Højlund scored 16 and 44 in Serie A to help them do just that. And ahead of Saturday's Epsom derby, trainer Aidan O'Brien has declared 4 horses. He's going for a 4th straight win and a record-extending 12th victory. The race is live on talkSPORT on Saturday afternoon.
Paddy's Challenge on talkSPORT with Hawksby and Jacobs. What critics are calling one of the many radio quiz segments happening this week. Paddy Power. 18 plus begambleaware.org.
Yeah, time now for Paddy's Challenge, our quiz for charity in association with our friends and official betting partners, Paddy Power, in
Patty
this week's Paddy's Power. Yes. Do you know Patty? Paddy's sister. She's lovely. In this week's Paddy's Challenge, season's end special. Wow, we put our knowledge of the 2025-26 Premier League season to the test with a chance of raising lots of money for our nominated charities, the Sporting Memories Network and the Rowcroft Hospice, helping manage proceedings and ensure fair play. Guest quizmaster Ben Fletcher. Hello, Fletch.
Hello, Fletch. Just to say, Patty Power comes from the side of the family they don't like to talk about, so just tread carefully,
right.
okay? This special edition of Paddy's Challenge, I'll be asking you 3 multiple-choice questions each on the players and events of the 25-26 Premier League season. A special edition. The winner will be the player that scores the most points. In the event of a tie, you'll both win the chance to raise some cash for your charities. Last time we played, Max won.
Well done, Max.
And backed Palace to beat Rayo Vallecano in the Europa League final, which they did 1-0, thanks to a great goal from Jean-Philippe Mateta. That is another £42.
Lovely
in the Sporting Memories Network.
It all
pot.
counts.
So let's see if we can raise some more cash for your charities this week. The virtual coin toss has taken place off air. It has decreed that Charlie will be going first on this occasion. So if our highly paid technical department are ready with attention, bed. No Billy on the buttons today. He's sat again. He's sat in 75 grand corner. He's doing football stickers.
This is the Culver House bed. I'm suing Paddy Power.
The guy who wrote this bed he must have properties all over the world.
All over the world.
All over the world.
Yeah.
Anyway, considerations for another day.
Bed.
Charlie, here comes your first question. Good luck.
Right around the world. In Miami.
In which of Man City's Premier League matches in December did Erling Haaland become the fastest player in league history to reach 100 goals? A. Fulham away. B. Sunderland at home. Or C. West Ham at home?
It's a silly question.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Does even Erling Haaland know?
You do
I'm going to say Fulham away.
That's what I thought.
1 point to Charlie.
The correct answer.
Well done.
He reached a century of goals in his 111th Premier League game, breaking the record of Alan Shearer, who set it in 124 games all the way back in December 1995. 1-0 Charlie. Max, it comes to you. Good luck.
Okay.
Who scored a Premier League hat-trick back in November when Arsenal beat Tottenham 4-1 in the North London derby? A. Bukayo Saka. B.
No.
Leandro Trossard. Or
No.
C. Eberici Eze?
Yes.
1 point to Max.
Absolutely. It was Eze's first senior treble, and it took Arsenal 6 points clear at the time. Who knew? Charlie, question 2.
Well, everybody knew, because that's what happened.
How it works. If anyone doesn't know, if talkSPORT don't know that.
No, I meant who would have known it would have got, so you know what I meant.
Yes.
Come on.
I see.
Not a clue.
Play the clue.
You can't say Arsenal are top of the league. Who knew? Because
We have to know that.
There must be somebody
It's
out there
our
that
job to know that.
Yeah.
There'll be somebody out there that doesn't, and we're just here to educate and inform.
Okay.
Charlie, question 2.
Who did Wolves beat 3-0 in January to secure their first win of the season?
Oh, yeah.
A. West Ham. B. Manchester United. Or C. Everton?
I think I know.
Everton.
I think it was West Ham.
It was West Ham.
Oh, was it? To drag them
Wolves
into it.
Finally secured a first
knew,
Premier League
Charlie?
win.
Who
Who
Should have
knew?
known.
And we don't know what happened to West Ham.
Who could possibly have known? That is an incorrect answer for Charlie, which means, Max, you have an opportunity to take a 2-1 lead. Here comes question number 2.
Right.
Which of these Premier League managers was the first to go just 3 games into the season last September? A. Ange Postecoglou. B. Nuno Espirito Santo. Or C. Graham Potter?
3 games in. I think it was Nuno. No. Ooh.
Who knows?
Yeah, I think Potter did 5 games. I'm going to say Nuno.
Good one.
Is the correct answer. He won the sack race last September with Potter later that month. You're absolutely right. Big Ange then went in October. So, Charlie, the stakes are very, very simple.
Big Ange to Fulham, perhaps, Ben. What do you think of that?
Perhaps. Well, he's a big character missed in the Premier League, isn't he? Would he venture as far south as National League South?
Well,
things to do in Brixham?
Listen, Talking United have just signed a player who's played in the Champions League. So,
wow.
How many decades ago?
1907.
Yeah.
2023.
Is that when it was back on ITV?
Okay. It was for Lahm from Northern
That's all
Ireland,
right.
but you know, he's
Still a place,
still a
still a
Champions
football
League
team.
player. You're welcome.
How about that? Up the goals. Charlie, your third and final question. You need to get this right to split the pot, get it wrong, and
Good
Max
luck.
takes the
Thank
cash. Good luck.
The longest unbeaten streak of the season belonged to Bournemouth. How many games did they go unbeaten? A, 18, B, 21, or C, 15?
18.
Pick that one out.
Bang.
He's absolutely right.
Yes.
Unbeaten
What a
for
concept.
almost the entire second half of the season. They avoided defeat in their final 18 games. There we go. So, Max, an opportunity for you to win and take the pot outright, or
I'm
you
enjoying
split it
this
with Charlie.
quiz end of the
It's
season
all right,
quiz.
isn't
I'm
it?
enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our friends on the
come
10th
on.
floor have put some effort into it for a change.
Well done,
Great
10th
to
floor
see.
people.
Max, your third and final question. Here it comes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How many Premier League players scored in the first minute this season? A, 5, B, 4, or C, 3?
It was going so
When
well.
I was saying I was enjoying this quiz,
Who
that's
knew?
a silly question.
Who knew? Who could have known?
Who scored in the first minute? Can I remember any of the goals that were scored in the
First minute.
first minute this season?
Remember, we're only on air till 4.
Someone scored the other week.
Fulham scored at Tottenham very early. First minute, though. It can't have been 3.
Oh dear, oh dear.
2-2.
Incorrect. 5 was the right answer.
5.
Jack Hinchelwood, Matthews Fernandez, Hugo Ekitike, Phil Foden, and Malik Chow. So how about that?
There we go.
We
Silly
split
question.
the pot.
Silly question.
We split the pot
Okay.
on this occasion. Paddy's giving you both a £10 free bet. It just remains for me to ask, what are you going to go for? Max, you first.
It's got to be this week. It's got to be something happening this week.
England's friendly
All right.
Saturday Night Live on talkSPORT, perhaps.
Who are we playing? Who we've got?
New Zealand, isn't it?
England, New Zealand.
Yeah.
Okay.
England, New
what
Zealand.
happened? England to beat New Zealand. There you go.
And Charlie, New Zealand to
I
beat
can
England.
give you money at the end of that.
£10.20 to go towards.
It all counts.
Yeah,
It
I know,
all
I know, I
counts.
know, and I agree with that. I'd like to say
How
that,
about England to
Max.
beat New Zealand double? Cricket and football. There you go.
That's a great shout.
That's what Max is. Max, are you doing that? New Zealand are good
That's
at,
what I've done.
good
Yeah,
at
I've added
cricket,
to-
Max. They're good at cricket.
Yeah,
And I think that's
I
going
know,
to
but,
be.
you
I think it's
know.
going to be a draw because it's going to be very wet.
2 draws?
No, not 2 draws. No. I'm going to say. Are we both doing the same bet?
Well, no,
I
you
don't
both
mind,
get a
Charlie.
chance.
It's up to you.
So
What do you think?
Max has picked his.
Do you
What
want to
one
do
would you like?
Do you want to join forces?
Ollie
Charlie?
Watkins to score for England.
Okay.
Anytime goal scorer.
Anytime goal scorer.
How about that? Well, we'll see how you get on and reveal
More
the
than
winners
4 corners.
next week. 4.5. I've never understood that in betting parlance. Why 0.5? Where does that come
'Cause
from?
you have
Well,
to-
because
you
then
have
it is
to-
definitely
then
more.
it's
and you have
definitely
to,
more,
yeah,
isn't it?
put up-
Okay.
Yeah. Who knew?
Who knew?
Well,
knew?
next season's quiz for you. Who knew?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it will be at this rate.
Thank you, chap. Thank you, Fletch.
Thank
you
you
for coming on.
Always.
That was the challenge. Thanks to our friends at Paddy Power. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Paddy's Challenge on talkSPORT with Paddy Power. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
A lot of this book, you know, you got a lot of praise for a lot of people in it, you know, from Stuart Pearce through to David Moyes or whatever. But how much of your departure in that manner from West Ham did you feel was down to Graham Potter?
I think it was a lot down to him. Obviously, he didn't really know me as a person, didn't really know me as a player, other than what he saw me playing. But I felt like the conversations that I was having with him was like, it's got nothing to do with me, it's got to do with the chairman. And the chairman would be like, it's the manager. I honestly just feel like he was the one who really made the decision in the end. But it wasn't just me. It was obviously me, Aaron Cresswell, Vlad, Lucas Fabianski, Edson. Like, he got rid of a lot of the senior group, the leaders in the changing rooms. And I feel like he was trying to change things up and go more young. But then it's a bit of a contradicting factor because he did that, and then within 3 weeks he was going, we've got the leaders in the changing room.
Mm-hmm.
When it's his decision to get rid of him. So it made no sense to me.
I think, Michael, I mean, I'm looking at this, mate, and one of the quotes you said in the podcast was, I had resentment against the club. I hated them. Nothing to do with the fans, just the ownership. The only way they could feel my pain, was to be relegated. Now, do you think, the question I would ask you is, do you think it was a personal attack? Did it feel personal? Or, as you say in the book, humans, not robots, do you think it's an overriding thing where...
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
Australia, well, they've won the fifth and final Ashes test of the series by 146 runs, and they have won the Ashes.
There's no wriggle room now for failure for England and McCullum.
For us now, it's a matter of how do we turn those difficult lessons into lessons that can help us become a better side moving forward.
It is oh so easy for Mitchell Santner. England crumbling.
If it goes really badly wrong, then there might be a lot of issues for people in big jobs in English cricket.
Vettel down the ground, a fourth boundary in the over.
I don't want us to throw out what we've done before, per se. I want us to refine it, become a better version of it.
The problem they've got is that beating New Zealand is not going to convince the public that the team have changed.
It's Bolden, roots out. Smith has a second wicket.
Whatever's going to happen is going to be fun.
First test then at Lords, England against New Zealand. We'll be live for overseas listeners on our YouTube channel. Let's talk to our cricket reporter, Steve Harmison, double Ashes winner. Hey, Harmy, UK?
How are you, Max? You all right?
Yeah, really good, thanks. It was interesting listening to McCullum and Stokes, and Stokes saying yesterday, look, it's not massive change that we need, as much as people want to hear us say that. It's being a lot smarter in those big moments in games. Do you agree with that summary?
Yeah, I do. But we've been asking for that for about 18 months, 2 years now. I mean, Max, it was a whirlwind, Bazball, when it first came. I know the boys and Brendan McCullum don't like the word Bazball, but when he first came into the job 4 and a bit years ago against New Zealand, they had they got over the line against New Zealand at Lords. First win for a while, and then they beat them convincingly. In two brilliant performances in the test matches. And you're thinking, here's something really special is about to happen. And it did for about 2.5 years. And then what they've just said, both McCullum and Stokes, I think is largely down to the fact of a different personnel, some younger players coming in, possibly needed coaching rather than needed the mentor of the brilliance in the dressing room of Brendan McCullum and with experienced players. And I think culminating in the end with the Ashes, which was, it was a shambles from start to finish. So for 2.5 years, this team was brilliant. And for the last 18 months, everything that Ben and Brendan have said leading into this game, a lot of people have been asking for the last 18 months. And unfortunately for them too, it's now or never, because if they don't deliver what they've been saying over the course of the next 6 weeks, 3 months, possibly the summer, then we might be looking at a different roadmap come end of September when the Test series is against New Zealand and Pakistan finish.
Yeah, it's interesting that I'm not sure who said it in that little montage that if England beat New Zealand, that that won't really go very far in determining whether anyone thinks they've changed. So it's a hiding to nothing to them. For them, if they win, people go, well, that's not enough, and if they don't, well, then they'll be in trouble. Is that fair?
Yeah, well, it's one of the Max. We know what sports like. I mean, everybody inside that camp are like, yeah, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And when Brendan McCullum and Ben Stokes started playing this sort of great, expansive brand of cricket, and they're talking about we've changed it, the innovation of everything that's coming with Bazball, and we've got the public on side. It don't really matter whether you've got the public on side or not. We've seen in the Ashes, this might be a really enjoyable watch cricket team, but the minute you start losing the way they did, the tables turn, moods change, narratives change. And I think what England have got to get back to doing is winning cricket matches. If they win cricket matches, by hook or by crook, they're probably back to where they were when McCullum and Stokes sort of got the job, which is let's get a win over the line, don't matter how, and then start building the blocks from there, as opposed to looking too far ahead and trying to play this brand of cricket, which sometimes, when from winning positions, they find a way of losing it. So they'll get the public back once they start winning again. But I wouldn't be worrying about that. If I was in the dressing room, I wouldn't be worrying about what anybody's said over the course of the last 5 months. This is your sort of 24 hours out from being able to control what is said next. And that is something I would imagine for the likes of Joe Root, Ben Stokes, especially the more experienced players. I remember coming back from 2006-07 Ashes series, tail between my legs, and a long time to before the next Test match of former England cricketers, pundits, and it was less in them days having a go at you. You didn't have an answer. Now they're 24 hours away from giving us an answer, and hopefully that answer is a positive one.
Yeah, looking at the bowling attack, Harmy, Ollie Robinson and Gus Atkinson, they're going to take the new ball, and then you've got this. Depending on, they think it's going to rain, so the game might be shortened. So if it is shortened, it looks like they'll play Sonny Baker over Shoaib Bashir. Does it always work like that? It feels a bit in and out.
Yeah, I think what you have to work out, Charlie, is what degree do you think the spinner is going to take part in the game? Yeah. And if you feel as though the game is getting shortened, the likelihood is it's getting shortened because of rain. If it's rain, there's cloud about, the cloud cover is more conducive to seam bowlers rather than spin bowlers. Lords, I mean, Shane Warne never got a 5 for 8 Lords. So that tells you, how much spin plays a part in Lords. It doesn't tend to win games, but it does play a part. So I don't think Baker's in there for Bashir. I think Bashir will play. I think Baker's in there, and they're going to make a decision on Gus Atkinson. Right. I think Atkinson hasn't played a lot of cricket going into, the month of May for Surrey. England tried to keep him, relatively fresh, and then the game he was about to sort of take part in, fully from an overs point of view, he got hit on the head and he had to come out of the game, concussion, missed the following week. So I think it's the volume of overs that Atkinson, and they're going to give him every chance possible to be fit, because, just a short career at Lords, but his stats at Lords are fantastic. So I think it'll be Baker or Atkinson. But I get your point. I think there could be a possibility, if the first day is washed out, or a large part of the first day washed out, Saturday doesn't look great from a rain point of view, then it might just sway Ben's decision and say, right, we're going to go in full seam attack, and you watch out for Sonny Baker. This boy has got something. He's a special character. He is a character as a person. You'd love his character, Charlie. He's brilliant.
He's from Torquay, Steve. He's the Torquay tornado. I'm fully behind him.
He's a brilliant character. I seen him at the golf the other day, and he's a jack in the box. I love the way his outlook of the game. He's always asking questions, and he can bowl fast. And he got a bit of a tough start in white ball cricket when he came in last year at Henley. I think he's a better bowler what I've seen so far this summer. He's bowled a lot of overs, and I think at some point over the course of these next 3 Test matches, you'll see Sonny Baker, and hopefully over that period, I still think, next year will be the year he really comes to the fore in international cricket. But it wouldn't surprise me if the drip feed him in over the course of this next sort of 6 to 12 months.
All right, good stuff, Harmy. Thanks for coming on, pal.
Cheers, boys.
Steve Harmison there. It's a 3-match series against New Zealand, Lords, tomorrow, the first test. Overseas listeners can hear live ball-by-ball commentary on talkSPORT's cricket YouTube channel from 11 a.m, so head over there and subscribe. And that is us done, Charlie. I had a nice time.
I had a really lovely time. Thank you, Max. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Charlie. Thanks to all our guests. Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent have Drive. Thank you, Tool Station 2. Andy and Darren next.
On the England front, then, what do you make of the squad, and are you optimistic from looking at the 26?
I'm optimistic in terms of him maximising the potential to get to the latter stages, semi-finals, finals, possibly even winning. But the book is on whoever is the favourite should win. For me, France are the favourites. They're strong, technical, physical. They've got good